Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to our live stream. Hooray! And we are back. We are back, officially. Oh my God, I've missed you guys. Have you missed me? You know I'm very needy, so if you've missed me, just tell me now. Tell me that you've missed this live stream, because I have missed you guys so much. Welcome everybody. Chill Power, how are you? Good evening, diplomats. Great Soul, Roots, you're welcome. Adana, my darling, how are you? Welcome everybody. Good afternoon. Bio! President Bio, you're here. Make a very you, man, settle down, hey you. Thank you, my sister Jux, babe. Eshe Goni, oh. Good evening, everybody. I welcome you all. Thank you all so much for being here. For life, Esther, my baby girl for life. You're welcome. Thank you. I see you all. BBMJ, T, yeah, you're welcome. Tony, thank you so much. It's so good to be back. I have missed you guys, honestly. I don't think, you see the kind of relationship, I feel like I'm in a relationship with dozens of people now. Vio, I hear you back. Oh, good evening. I feel like we have this connection now. We have this relationship now that it's not complete when we don't do the live stream. It's not complete. Onibo Sheje. Eh? Who knows the meaning of Onibo Sheje? Get a CB. Thank you all so much for being here. It's been a minute. Yeah. From time to time, we just need to, we switch it off, take a break, and recalibrate, and we're back. Thank you all so much. Tolu's Diary, welcome. Thank you. Neka, how are you, my darling? You're welcome. Ify, I see you. Anjuwa, welcome. Thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. Yes, it is time to come back. I was getting too used to just posting normal videos, and I realized that you guys will be missing me. For laughter, you miss my laughter. Oh, thank you. You know me and my laughter now. I laugh at myself. I laugh at everything. Laughter is good, though. It's good for the soul, the spirit, and the body. D, you're welcome. I'm on you live stream. Okay. D, when I start now, you go run, no? Now you go run. You know how we do it now. I can just do, it's December, we'll do gist mass. I can start, what they call it, June mass. I can start June mass now. We'll just do it every day. Joe, you say I make you laugh with my needy self. Yes, I'm very, very needy. I'm needy. Give me my love. Tell me you love me and miss me. Bibi, I miss you too. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I miss you. There's nothing like our live shows, honestly. Nothing like it. I feel like even when I just drop those videos, they are not interactive, I don't get to read your comments. I don't get to talk to you. I don't get to, do parakpa with you. Who's talking about weight loss? Lovely. If I show you what I'm eating, can you do it? It's easy to say share, share, share. Can you do it? I'm using wow okele. Wow okele. This evening now, before I started the live show, I did my beautiful baby boy came back. Is the one that likes food the most in this house. PJ came back from school yesterday and said, "Mom, I want pounded yam. I've not done soup in a long, long time." So I decided to do pounded yam for him today. I ate one okele. Can you do it? One, just one okele is what I ate. Can you do it? Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've missed you guys. It's so good to be back. And thank you all so much for being here, for not being needy. So it's good that we understand each other. You know, in a relationship, you need to understand one another for the relationship to be sweet. You guys already know I'm needy. So you give me what I need. Oh, I don't hide my neediness. I'm very, very vulnerable about being needy. I am needy and I don't hide it. I'm not ashamed of my neediness. So just accept me the way I am. True love, true love is accepting someone for who they are. Oh my God. If anyone, thank you so much, my darling. It's good to be back. I've missed you guys so much. Panela, you are in Liberia. Oh, you're welcome. Boss lady, oh, my beautiful sis, welcome. Panela said, I'm in Liberia, but love your channel. I watch you a lot. You are gifted and smart. Continue what you are doing, and may God continuously bless you. Thank you so much, Panela. I appreciate that. God bless you. I love all my African subscribers who live in Africa. Africa is the motherland. The motherland. Yeah. We are just sojourners here. We can't wait to get back to the motherland. The motherland is where the power is. You get what I mean? Thank you. Thank you. So I decided that, we should have a discussion tonight about this genotype thing. Okay. Actually, it's been on my mind for some time now. And I've had several conversations. First of all, I have a family member who is in the situation. Okay. Initially, I was a bit reluctant to talk about it because I didn't want, you know how sometimes you don't want it to seem as if you are talking about family member, especially if you feel like, you've reached out to them in any way and you've supported them, you've helped them. I don't want it to seem as if I'm talking about the person now because, I've been there for them. I'm not like that, you know. And then I had another conversation with somebody, recently who told me about how her first marriage ended because of the same issue of genotype. Lady T, I miss you too. You're welcome. And then we have another situation on Grant, which now compounded the whole thing. And that's the one we're going to be talking about today. My people, this issue of genotype, blood genotype, how serious or how relevant is it in marriage and relationships? Okay, that's what we're going to be exploring tonight. And I've got a guest, okay? And this was not planned. My guest was not planned. It just happened that she's been trying to reach me for a while now to talk about her own situation. And because I've just been chilling and relaxing, I've not had time to really engage with her about, her own issues. Okay. She's a very young girl. She lives in Nigeria. So her friend contacted me as well to say, Auntie B, please talk to her. You've heard so many people. You need to hear her story. It's serious, and it involves her child, what Obodo Farm can do for her. I was like, oh my God. I said to that, my subscriber, I said, the issue of Nigeria, I'm not dealing with Nigeria anymore. Because since that issue that we had with Joy, I've just withdrawn because that's the kind of person I am. I just withdraw. But, the Holy Spirit just ministered to me and say, we should not be weary of doing good. If we say, okay, we don't want to listen to anybody in Nigeria, it's only diaspora we want to listen to. Who is going to listen to this young lady? So I said, okay, let's hear from her. So it's just Naya, you say it's relevant, right? Okay. I feel like a lot of Black people are, we are in denial about this genotype matter, blood genotype. The first time I knew about genotype was when I was in university in Nigeria. My elder sister, who lives in Lagos, has a friend, and they are church people, very religious, born again, Jim Jim. You know this kind of Jim Jim? born again. When they say Jim, the serious SU1, right? And I was very young then. I was still an undergraduate, but I realized that, when she used to come to my sister's house to talk to my sister about the issues she was having in her marriage, I was, listening. I was there. So of course I heard. Mhm. Bio said genotype is very serious issue, and I have cut off a good relationship which was leading to marriage. Well done. Well done, Bio. You saved yourself a lot of headache, a lot of pain, and most importantly, you just saved the life of an innocent child who does not deserve that kind of life, right? This is not a joke, guys. So let me finish the story. I'm going to call my guest right now in a few minutes. I just want to do the intro first. So these SU people, my sister's friend, both of them knew that they were not matching in terms of their genotype. So I'm not a medical expert. I'm not, into biology and all that. But the basic knowledge I have about genotype, and I did do a quick Google search like I always do when I'm talking about a subject that I'm not very vast in. And this is what Google said to me about this topic, right? Let me read it. It says that genotype is the genetic constitution of an individual's organism. The genetic constitution of an individual's organism. And is also to investigate the genetic constitution. So find out what's the meaning of constitution. Constitution is the law and ordinances that govern a country or a society or anything. So everything about your body, everything about science about your body is in your genotype, right? So we've had a lot of issues about this thing, and still people are still falling into this day in, day out. So Google said to me that the meaning of AAAS and SS genotype, it says that the blood genotype indicates the type of protein hemoglobin that is the red blood cells. It's in the red blood cells. So you could either be, your hemoglobin could be either be AA, AS, AC, SS, and SC, based on what you have inherited from your parents. So individuals with blood genotype of SC and SS are likely to have sickle cell disease. And that is where we are going to. Sickle cell is where we are going to tonight, right? While AS is known as sickle cell traits. So even people that have AS, they have the traits in their blood, because I know a few people who are also family members of mine who don't even have the SS, but they have the AS and they are very sickly as well. Okay? So I'm going to finish that story in a minute, but I wanted to show you this. So this is what I found. And it was talking about compatibility. AA and AA is 100% you can marry, right? AA and AS, 75% you can marry. This is what I just saw this online. Okay? And it says AA and SS, 50% they can marry. AS and AS, 25% not recommended. It is not recommended that if you're an AS to go and marry somebody whose blood genotype is AS. Wahala ló bá dé. Wahala ló bá dé. Heartache ló bá dé. It's a lot of problem. And I believe very strongly, knowing what we know now, with the knowledge of science that we know now, that it is very, very evil for you to deliberately go into a relationship where you know you're going to procreate, you go carry belle, or you go give somebody belle, and they go born pikin when go come they suffer, they sick, and they go through all sorts of health challenges because you are too selfish, to let go of that relationship. And of course, the last one is SS and AS. That one, he say, don't even go there. Yeah? AS and SS. He said, don't even go there. He says 0%. Now they say 0% not recommended. Don't go there. So let me quickly finish the story of my sister's friend. How I got to find out about this thing a while ago, and then I'll bring in my guest. Right? So that my sister's friend is AS, and she married a man that was AS. And now these are religious people, they are church people who believe that because they have faith, their faith can define signs. And I'm not saying that people don't have faith that is strong enough to, overcome, but why do you test? Why do you tempt God? Why do you tempt God? God has given us this wisdom, He's giving us this knowledge, giving us science and biology for us to, so that you don't get into this problem. Anyway, cut a long story short, they married. The first pikin when they want born back down na SS. My people, all that love and faith when they proclaim for each other, when SS pikin land there, brother no fit withstand am o. When the wahala too much, he take off. He leave am. He leave the woman with the pikin. Every day hospital, every day sickness, every day crisis. It was too much. Now every day the woman they cry. T Tracy, I live in the UK and I don't know my genotype. I found out my blood type last year, and even that was a struggle. The GP were telling me I'll have to get pregnant first before they let me. You better go private and go and check your genotype. It's not rocket science. You mustn't go through GP. Go to any private clinic and go and get your genotype done. You want to get pregnant first. I wouldn't take that risk if I were you. You'll hear the story of my guest tonight. Then you will understand. Wellness by Mena says it is financially, psychologically, physically, audically draining. Mhm. It is even wicked of both parents to bring an innocent child to come and suffer, just to come and suffer for self-reason. God bless your wellness. Mhm. So, if you are in a relationship and you start thinking of getting serious with that relationship, or you are even thinking of conceiving, that is to carry belly, to fall pregnant, as you Americans say it, you are thinking of falling pregnant. The first thing you must know is your blood group and also your genotype. For us black people, very crucial. Ọmọdé òmògùn, ó ń pè lẹ́fọ̀ọ́. You never go if you never see this thing what they talk about, you may not fully understand or appreciate what we're talking about. Someone like wellness now knows. I think they have an idea of what this is all about. This thing we're talking about is no joke. It is a very serious thing that if you think you are in love, saying that love they catch you, the love will clear very quickly. Okay, if you think that okay, it's faith, I have faith in Jesus Christ as my savior and he will heal my child, then I refer you to the Bible verse that said, do not tempt the Lord thy God. Don't tempt God, because the time of ignorance don't pass. So the time our parents didn't know, there was no science to determine what was the cause. Now we know the science, we know the biology, we know how to check. We know how to check. Nick said, unless you are willing to have all your children through IVF, then AS and AS can marry, and SS and SS can marry. If not, everybody needs to go their way. I don't recommend it for anybody. Whether you are ready to go through, don't even suggest it, I beg. How many people go through IVF? How many people can even afford IVF? Nick, I beg, let's leave that completely out of the picture. We know how our people are. We know how our people are. So, there needs to be a massive awareness about this. I think a lot of people are aware of it, but my guest tonight tells me that she was not aware, fully aware. Okay, baby says mostly in Africa there is awareness. I realize that a lot of African Americans are not aware. Actually, they only know when the person is born. Okay, so this thing is it's predominantly among black people. Okay, so before you think of having a child with somebody, you must know their blood genotype. It is crucial. Patrick said, hi, Auntie B. Thank you for talking about this topic, as I am AS and was told at a young age that I have to be careful in choosing a partner. That he would need to go for a medical check. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, I don't want to flog it, but I've seen people who have children that are carrying that sickle cell traits, that are sickle cell, and they suffer from that sickle cell anemia. It is not a joke. So I was going to do a story about eukarya last week, when the story started going on social media about how she's planning to get married and all that. I wanted to talk about her, and I wanted to also talk about it from the point of view of how Eukarya, unfortunately, you know, married somebody who was not compatible with her in terms of genotype, and ended up with a child who was a sickle cell, who had sickle cell, anemia. And unfortunately, that boy, I think the boy lived up to the age of 16 or so, but eventually he didn't make it. And as a result, she doesn't have a child now. She's about 56 years old, which is really, really, I can't even imagine what she went through. It's heart wrenching. It is heartbreaking. Hmm. Hmm. So yeah, let's talk about it tonight. If you didn't know about it before, maybe the story of my case tonight will ginger you. So I see a lot of people are passionate about this subject. Yeah, 15 years back, Chelsea. Thank you, my darling. Stephanie say, my uncle and aunt are AS. Their first son was completely disabled. He couldn't even speak, and the second one was completely normal. People need to be careful. Are you really willing to take that risk? Mhm. Are you willing? Okay, so I have a guest tonight who is coming to share, which was unplanned. Honestly, I already set up the show before I even started chatting with her last minute. Incidentally, she falls into this category. I decided to just bring her. She's in Nigeria. She's a very young girl, right? She said she got involved with somebody who lives in Yankee, right? And this guy came to Nigeria to come and marry her. And now they've ended up with a child who has sickle cell anemia. And the child has and the man has jackpa. He's abandoned her. So she's gonna tell her story about herself. I'm going to call her now. This is not something to joke with, my people. It's quite serious. Hmm? It's very, very serious. Right. Hmm. Right. Nick said, I have SS. My parents never knew about genotype back then. Because of what I have gone through, I've made sure my partner was A, so my future children would have it. It's not a life anyone wants. Yeah. Hello? Hello? Hello. Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. All right, you are live. We're on the show now. Okay, Mom. Okay, so I've got Ella on the show. Her name is Ella. This is the second time we're having Ella on the show. Her name is Ella, and she lives in Nigeria, and she wants to tell us her story of how she ended up having a child with this sickle cell illness at such a very young age. Okay, so now, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you met the guy, and how you got to where you are now? Okay. Yes. He's a family friend. I met him through my eldest brother. He used to visit him a couple of times when he goes to the US. So he's been a family friend as a story from. My older siblings are quite much older than me. So I didn't know much about him. I just agreed to become friends with him and date him on distance based on the fact that my brother recommended him. So we started dating on social media. Then we came back to Nigeria in 2018. All this was happening in the space of 6 months or thereabouts. So he came back to Nigeria in 2018 and he got married to me traditionally October. Then he left Nigeria, and ever since then it's been a roller coaster ride between the both of us. It's not been easy. So did you know your genotype before you got married to this man? Well, sincerely, yes. I found that the genotype thing Yes, I did. So, what's your genotype, if you don't mind me asking? And it was after I was pregnant, then he started telling me the story of how he would have find some other person, because of his genotype, this is that. So he insisted I do a genotype test. So I did. So I did, and yeah, we both did, and it was both AS, sincerely. So you are both AS. Was this after you got married that you found out that you are both AS? Yes, ma'am. Did he know? Did you or him know about that there could be a chance of you having a child with the sickle cell trait or sickle cell issue? The line has gone. Nigerian network is just tripped off. So a little background about this story, because I was like, initially I was like, no, 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 no. I don't even want to go there, but I realized that it's a young girl. She's only 20 something, 24 years old. And she said, this happened when she was 21. So the guy came from America to marry her. That's what she's saying now, that they met on social media and started dating and. And so the long and short of the story is that she has a child now who has, the illness, sickle cell. And she's unable to take care of the child. And she said the guy has basically ghosted her completely. He's ghosted her, you know. And he doesn't even talk to her. He doesn't pick her call. He doesn't, nothing. Hello? He doesn't pick her call. He's not sending money and everything. But there was something she said when we were talking, which I found, a bit, I don't really know the full story. Like I said, this was last minute. I don't know why. The network is a bit tricky. That's the problem with yeah. So according to her story, what she was telling me earlier on, she said that he's basically ghosted her. Every attempt that she has done to try to reach him, he ignores her calls. Say he ignores my calls and text messages, even group invitation chats. She's explored everything. Okay. And it's like he's not looking back. But initially, when she was pregnant, he was the one that said she has to keep the baby because he's been trying to have a child and all that. And she trusted him and kept the baby. She also said that her mom pressured her into the marriage because I was asking her, did you know? Tony said that Nigerian churches now request genotype before they allow people to marry. That's an excellent, excellent step by the church. We often complain about churches in Nigeria, but that is one good move. Hello? Sorry, I had a network interruption. I'm so sorry. It's okay. It's fine. So I was asking you before you got cut off, yeah? When this guy came from America to come and marry you in Nigeria, was he aware that because you were telling me that he wanted to have a child and he insisted that you keep keep the pregnancy? Was he aware of the likelihood of you having a baby with sickle cell? You mean if he was aware of his genotype and yes, yes. Well, yes, I have to say yes, because all my life I've always known I'm AS. So as for he told the story that sometimes he's not fluctuates, he's not sure, but when he comes back, we'll do a genotype test. So when he came back, I was carried away. I was carried away with his arrival and you were carried away. Everything that was going on. So when it occurred, yes, when it occurred to me to do the genotype testing was when I confirmed myself pregnant after the test result. So you did the genotype test after you were pregnant? Oh, you wanted to marry someone? Yes, I was already pregnant. Then he was pregnant. How did I wanted to marry someone else, but because of genotype issues, this is not that. So now we should check. So we checked and we got AS. I asked him, okay, so what next? What should we do?
child. First, I said no. Then, subsequent times, I was like, okay, I'm considering that option. Okay, yes, I'm not sure what the child's genotype is going to be. Meanwhile, my brother kicked against it. He was so adamant convincing me to adopt the child. My mom was standing with me saying, I keep the child, let's go. It turns out that the child is not sick. I agreed. I equally wanted to keep the child. I've never really done an abortion. I was skeptical. I wouldn't know what the pain would feel like. So I didn't want to. I didn't want to convince myself that was the best thing to have done. Then it was actually.
Okay, now let me ask you. When you were pregnant, what was this? What was this? By the time you were pregnant, were you married then, or you were pregnant before you got married? Did you get pregnant after the marriage?
I assume
It's very, very noisy. We can't hear you. Where the place you are is so noisy. Can you find a quiet place? We can't hear you.
Okay, all right, ma. Give me a minute, please.
It's really noisy. There's a church or something behind, and it's just echoing. I can barely hear you.
All right.
So the issue is about people whose genotype are not compatible. Somebody is saying that a medical person should talk about it. You don't need to be a medical person to understand it. It's simple biology. Okay, and I've just shown a diagram of simple explanation of people who can marry and people who cannot marry. Why do you need a medical person to explain it? Is it rocket science? It's simple. A and A can marry. A and AS can marry. A and SS can marry. SS and SS can marry. A and SS and AS cannot marry. AS and AS cannot marry. If you marry, you are likely. It's a game of chance. It's a game of chance. You don't know what you're going to end up with. So this is not about medical or no medical. It's simple biology, really. So a couple of weeks ago, a family member of mine reached out to me, and I didn't even know. I didn't even know. I was not aware that they have a child who's got the sickle cell illness, and then he started saying, "I need to talk to you," and I said, "Okay," and then when we spoke, it was like, oh my God, my child is sickle cell. I didn't know that my wife is AS and I'm AS, and we ended up with a child with sickle cell. We sold everything. He said, we sold everything that we have. I've taken loans. I'm going into bese. And it was like, even my salary, when I get my salary now, because of all the debts and all the loans that I've taken from my place of work, by the time they finish deducting it, I don't have anything left. And I'm like, how did this happen? Because, like I said, they talk about this a lot in Nigeria. You can't live in Nigeria and say you don't know, except you are burying your head under the sand or you choose to ignore it. That's another thing. A lot of people are choosing to ignore it. Right. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you in traffic?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right. So just give us a brief.
Yeah,
I'm hearing you, but it's quite noisy. But go ahead. What happened when you were pregnant? Was he sending you money, and who was taking care of you in Nigeria?
Okay. When I was pregnant, I was still at my mom's house because my family members insisted I would only move to his place after he has wedded me in church. So after the low-key traditional marriage, it wasn't even an elaborate one, but the only thing was that he did everything in traditional marriage rites ceremony. But it was a very low-key ceremony. So he left the country on 5th of November 2018. I even saw him up at the airport. So I went back to Nsuka. My mom lives there in Enugu State. So I was staying at my mom's place. So while I was there, my mom was the one catering for me and taking care of me. Then he sent me 40,000 naira. Then I think 3 months after he left, that was in March. That was the first time we had a huge communication breakdown. I called him for straight 2 weeks. He didn't pick. Okay, before then, there was this time I'll call him and I would be hearing a feminine voice in the background, and sometimes I could predict or assume it's a Westerner, like a white woman's voice, not a Black American or a Black talking. So I would ask him, "Is that your neighbor or something?" You know, you just tell me stories. Sometimes he could. So friends, I'm asking too much questions. He doesn't like it. That I'm being too naive. Why am I always being so paranoid? That he's getting really worked up with the whole thing. That in fact, he thinks that this stop marriage thing will not work. But anyway, let's see how it goes. I'm already pregnant, but let's see how it goes. He sends me 40,000 naira. Then every day of my needs or emotional whatever needs, he doesn't care about it. It was just the whole excitement was just before he came back and when he was around. Then it started dying off a month after he left. So that was the first time we had a huge breakout. He didn't pick my calls for straight 2 weeks, and then finally he picked. I had to call my aunt that lived there in the US with him. They were all worried and worked up. We were all trying to reach him from this end and that end. He was ghosting everybody, refusing to talk to anyone, including myself. Then finally he picked my calls and said that the only reason or the only basis on which he would keep talking to me as his wife is if I agree to move to Aba to go and stay with his mom. That his mom needs company, and because I'm his wife now, that he needs me to stay close to the family, so I get to know more about the family. At least for now, that I'm still in Nigeria. While this was going on, I was juggling, trying to get documents to apply for F1 visa, because according to him, he wanted to apply for a student visa. I asked him, why not a fiancé visa? He said, I can't really remember his excuse then, but I can't really remember, but I think he was just saying because he's just a green card holder, is not a citizen or something. So filing for an fiancé visa will take a longer process. So let's go for an F1 visa that takes shorter process, and I mean it's easier to get if I get to pass the exams and
hold on a minute. Ella, hold on. Yeah, I know you're on a roll and you're trying to get the story out there. I understand. I know you're anxious. That's fine. Okay, relax. All right, let's take it one step at a time. So the first thing you said was that you got carried away when this guy came from America, because obviously he's an Americana. And most Nigerian girls, unfortunately, I'm not, judging you. When they see someone from the diaspora, you know, saying no will be difficult. And I've seen the guy's picture. You sent me his number, and I called him earlier on before we came on the show, and I checked his DP on WhatsApp. He's a good-looking guy. So getting carried away, this is not to you now. I'm saying this to my show now. Guys, if you're watching this now and you're watching this later, if somebody's genotype is not compatible with you and you are getting carried away or you are falling in love, just know that is the pain. You are saving your pain for tomorrow. This is not a joke, guys. This is serious. It's very, very serious.
Yeah.
It is like somebody said when we started, Babim, I think it's Babim that said it, that it is even wickedness for you to bring a child into this world to come and suffer, knowing that this thing is, is likely to produce a child who is going to have this trait. And I've seen someone on the comment section saying that.
I actually found out about it.
No, not you, my darling. No, not you, Ella. I'm talking generally now, because there was somebody in the comment section that said, me and my husband are AS and AS. Luckily, we have a child that is AA. And the next one, do you know the genotype of the next one? No, you don't. You cannot. Oh my God. So what's happened? Okay, so when you refused to go to Aba to live with his mother, what happened?
Okay, initially I was skeptical because firstly, I'm not used to her. I've lived with my mom all my life because I'm the last. And then secondly, the information I was getting about the place, it wasn't a conducive environment. I mean, it's an old woman's house. And I'm a young girl, not like I'm from a wealthy home, but I'm used to living in the comfort of my mother's space. So as time went on, I saw that he was head-bent on that decision, that if I don't adhere to it, because he's a very authoritative person and also diplomatic. He's not like you wouldn't say outrightly that if I don't do this, he does that. But he uses silence to blackmail me a lot. So if he gives an instruction and I don't adhere to it, he blanks off on me. He cuts off communications until I accept to do that thing he wants me to do. So I already knew he was going to do that, and I was scared because I was just pregnant and my hormones were raging. I needed to be talking to him as my supposed husband. You know, at least communication could help since he wasn't physically there present. So I accepted. I went against my family, which my siblings didn't want me to move to Aba. My mom was so emotional about it, but I had to. I wasn't even ready to.
So you moved to Aba? You moved to Aba to live with the mother? Yes. Okay. So what happened that your relationship now broke up? Because you kept saying your ex. What happened?
Okay. On my arrival at Aba, initially she was a very sweet mother-in-law. I can't really place it what I started doing wrong. At the point she said, acting up to me, always telling me that do I even think I have the right to be here and be enjoying the comfort of her son's wealth and hard-earned money and sweat. Besides, I wasn't there when the whole thing was hard for him before he arrived and then became a comfortable man. You know, I buy this or I demand for this to make it a little bit comfortable for me. She complains, I'm asking for too much. I asked her to get me a generator. She's like, can't I manage the off and on Nigerian lights? Besides, I've never been abroad. Why am I overemphasizing on this comfort thing? I'm like, okay, I try to talk to him. Let's hasten up on the whole visa thing before my baby bump shows up and contradicts the whole filing for an F1 visa. She's like, why am I in a hurry to go and join him over there? And in fact, that she's going to talk to her son. I look like someone that if I go over there, after some time, I'm going to leave him and move on. Because I'm a young girl, you know, and this and that. She advised him to stop whatever visa processing he was doing for me. And that one ended. So I was still pregnant and almost at the verge of delivery. So just being a typical African mother-in-law, toxic African mother-in-law to me. She switched from being all a nightmare, both spiritually and physically. I'm African, I'm a Nigerian, I'm Igbo by tribe, so I so much believe in spirituality. I had very extreme diabolic experiences there. Sometimes I wake up, I see feathers, I see very fetish things on my doorsteps. I was constantly having very bad dreams, something science will call sleep paralysis, you know, nightmares, like psychotic dreams and stuff like that. But spiritually, that was a problem. I'm just trying to sound civilized, but it was a huge issue. Even when I put to bed, the mom was not excited. I gave birth to her first supposed grandchild. You know,
is it a boy? Your child? Is it a boy or girl?
Yes, my baby is a boy.
So is that the first child of your ex-husband? Or I don't know what to call him now.
Yes.
So he didn't have children in America before.
Sincerely, I don't know. The only thing I can say is that I'm the only official Nigerian wife that better a child for
him. So you basically don't know. You don't know anything about him in America. You don't know about his life. He just came and bamboozled you and you fell for it because he's an Americana. So you fell for it. So you basically don't know about his life.
Yes.
You don't know anything about his life in America. Am I right?
Well, that's what it is. Apart from the few things you told me, he never disclosed having any extramarital relationships. Well, I suspected that. And I have some putting two and two incidents together. I'm convinced he's not just in a relationship, he's married over there. I do not know exactly if he has kids with this supposed white woman. Because there was this time my cousin who happens to be his niece, because like I said, he's a family friend. My aunt is his elder sister, and she's married into my father's family. So his nieces are my cousins. So one of my cousins that happened to be his nieces got married sometime this year. So she posted this picture of a white woman calling her sister-in-law. And I also saw a picture of him and her and, you know, the whole family together in the picture. And she was very close to him.
So you suspect that he has a wife in America?
Yes, he has a wife.
Mm-hmm.
He has
a white wife.
Yes, a white wife. And that makes sense to me because even before the marriage, the traditional marriage between him and I was dissolved. Like I always heard mostly weekends, I always hear a feminine white woman's voice in the background. Sometimes she's even like she wants to speak to the person, and I don't know what. Sometimes the call goes on mute, and then he's like, Nate, I'll call you back. He speaks Igbo to me, communication.
And you said it was your brother. Everybody keeps wondering because you said, hold on, Ella, hold on, you are doing well. You everybody keeps asking, it was your brother that you know that introduced you to this.
That linked us together.
So where was your brother when all this was happening?
My brother was here in Nigeria at the moment. We got married and we started having issues.
And what did he say?
I used to visit him in the US. He wasn't happy about it. He tried to reach out to him as a friend and a supposed brother. He was equally blanking out on my brother at that point. He was equally blanking out on my brother. And my brother played emotional blackmail on me that he wanted me not to marry him afterwards, even though he was the one that recommended him. But afterwards, he changed his mind because he wasn't really getting what Henry was saying. So he changed his mind and said, I shouldn't go ahead with marrying this guy. But
you told me
accepted to marry him.
You told me earlier that your mom basically pressured you to marry him. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Okay, yeah, she was excited because it's one, he's a family friend, and secondly, he lives abroad, and she felt
that's the thing, isn't it?
Basically,
that's the cocoa.
Yeah, basically because
he lives abroad.
He's a family friend, and secondly, yes, he lives abroad. And then, according to her, she wanted me to get married on time because she felt I would grow wild if I'm alive, if I'm allowed to go through life as a single girl, maybe finish school, start working, start making my own money, becoming independent, and not married yet. She was scared that my kind of person would not ever want to settle down. So she felt it was best I accept to marry someone they knew.
And you said you were 21. You were 21 then.
Yes, I was 21 in 2018. Yes.
Okay, now let's fast forward. You have a child now, and when was the last time you heard from your husband or ex-husband?
My ex-husband, my baby's father.
Yeah.
The last time I heard from him was early this month, first week of this month.
Okay. And since you have the baby, how old is your baby?
My baby is 3 years and 9 months old.
So almost 4 years. And how have you been fending for the child?
2 years and 9 months.
Okay.
3 years.
So your baby is almost 3 years, and has it supported you with, caring for this child? When did you find out that the child was, he's got the traits of the sickle cell disease?
Okay, when my baby was a year old, on his first 1 year birthday, 5 days after the birthday. Okay, before then, that very 3 months to that time, he was sick on and off. His body was deteriorating, and he was constantly not responding to baby treatment. Taking him to the hospital, they prescribed syrups, baby. They consulted pediatrician and all that. Just trying to do the normal standard, even the most standard I didn't even afford it, but I was just trying. So he wasn't responding to treatments that they were giving to him, tender treatments they were giving to him as a child. So on one of the occasions, the doctor suggested that we do a genotype test, because one of the results came out, and his blood test results showed he had sepsis. So that was very alarming. The doctor was emphasizing on the environment, stay in a clustered environment, how neat or how dirty or this. My mom picked up parents, but she was just the one always following me around doing the whole process. Because like she said, staff in here and then, that even though she doesn't have all the money, but she can afford a neat and a healthy way of living life, So the man now asked, is there any traces of sickle cell disease in the family? And I shocked because I knew the truth. I was like, oh wow, finally it's here. So I said sincerely, I and his dad, we are both heirs. So the whole scolding, reprimanding, criticism, judgment, everything started playing out. So okay, fine, let's do a genotype test. So the genotype test was consulted, it was done. The result came out 5 days later, and lo and behold, my baby is sickle. I informed the dad, he was mute, he's not, he doesn't say anything for some days. Then he calls back and asks me, what should we do? And I asked him too, what do we do? Because you knew this would probably happen, and foolishly I accepted to carry on this pregnancy. So
why did you accept? you knew at that point because you found out that you are both AS. Why did you accept?
I was already pregnant, even though I could have flushed the baby, but I accepted to carry on with the pregnancy because he said if we do a genotype, a baby fetus genotype examination. I don't know the medical term for it. I don't know the medical term for it. That we could find out if the child is going to be an SS or not.
Did you do it? Did you do the test?
Sincerely, I did not. I got a lot of scary information about it. And what if I do it and the child is a normal child, and because it's Nigeria and there's no standard medical ways of advanced ways of doing these things, that it's risky. That what if it's a normal child and I lose the child eventually, and it's a very painful process. So I was overwhelmed with the whole no information I was getting about the whole process. So I aborted the idea of going for it. I did not do it. I just carried on with the pregnancy in good faith, hoping that
praying
that the baby is a normal child.
So do you think it's because the child is the child is a sickle cell, is a sickle cell? Is that what has strained your relationship? Is that why the marriage ended? Or what caused it? Because now you say it's your ex-husband. Is it because of this mother? Or is I don't understand why. What happened?
Well, his mother, our differences, our misunderstanding, lack of communication, him and his numerous hidden secrets about his other relationships and marriage, the distance, my baby's health condition, everything played out. So it wasn't just about my baby's health condition.
Right. Okay. So now, how are you doing? You said that you live, that you just got something that you are managing, and life is really tough, and basically there's no financial support from him, and you are really struggling.
Yes. Okay. I recently moved to the northern part of Nigeria. I'm in Abuja. I'm doing my youth service. I just got here. I just got started. I got a job, a very low paid job. What's it? And it's better than not having anything to do at all.
Yeah.
Because it's related to my course of study. I kind of like the idea. At least I get to gain some work experiences and all that. And then how have I been surviving? My mom and brother, they support me the much.
You took the baby with you to do youth service in Abuja?
Yes, I had to, because his health condition too. I got in contact with this NGO that supports Sickler, but not like they really do much for. I just felt it would be a good idea to go with him, since my mom is not really that strong.
I know Abuja. I know Abuja very well. I actually went to do my youth service in Abuja, same way you are there. I went to Abuja to do my youth service in 1999. I did my youth service in Abuja, and I left Abuja in 2006 to come to the UK, and I'm telling you, Abuja is a very expensive, it's one of the most expensive places to live in Nigeria. Yes. Accommodation alone, even back then, was not easy. It's not an easy thing there. So, right. Okay, let's cut to the chase of this matter, because I have an idea of your situation, and I know that things are not easy with you. Oh, the line is gone again. Right. We need to just get to the chase of it, because oh my God, I feel this could have been avoided if they just left each other alone. Don't tempt fate. That is the whole summary of this matter. Don't go and tempt fate and say, after all, the chance is 50-50. You might have a child that doesn't have the sickle cell trait or is a sickle cell, but you might have a child that does. Are you willing to take the chance? Yes. Are you? On your coffee break, yes, they are divorced. She said that they've dissolved the traditional marriage. That's what she said. They've dissolved it. Now she's saddled with a baby. At 24 years old, she's saddled with a 3-year-old baby who is sick. And I tell you, this is not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing at all, because I've seen For those of you, I had somebody in the comment section was saying that they have the disease and they are surviving. If you live in the diaspora, good for you. You have more medical support, you have more medical help. But in Africa, it's not more. She's 20, I think she said she's 24 now. She's 24 now. This happened when she was 21, she said. You know. Uh so she was saying to me that I said, okay, why do you want to come and share the story? Neka, Ella said she's 24 now. Yeah. It's 50-50. Are you willing to take that chance? Let me tell you something. One of the greatest blessings that you will have in your life is having healthy babies. Parenting is very, very tough. Even when the child is healthy, it's not a joke. Parenting is not a joke. Looking after a healthy baby is not a joke. If it is not compounded with sickness, which could have been avoided, I mean, things happen in life that we have you know, that we have no power over. People have cancer, children have cancer, children have, some terrible diseases that we have no power over. We can't control it. But if there is something that we can control to ensure that you do not bring a child into this world to suffer, my people, do you really want to take that chance? Because you are carried away or you are in love? All those love, no, they last, oh. It not they last. I'm telling you, it not they last. Yeah, we talked about eukarya, easy. It know they last. It is a very, very delicate, and it's not a situation you want. Let me tell you something as a parent. I can tell you this, and all of you are parents out there can relate to what I'm saying now. When your child is ill, as a mother, you will be praying, let the sickness come and be on me. Let my child be well. Honestly, every good mother out there, you don't want your child to be ill. You don't. Even as my own, when they don't be teenagers, if they do like this, I go they run up and down. You don't want that. And having a child that you need to go to the hospital all the time, sometimes they need to do blood transfusion, they need medication, you need all. Oh my God, how is she gonna do it? Ella,
Hello, ma'am.
hello, my
Sorry,
darling. It's okay.
check my network.
Okay, so
You just checked something, the blood transfusion. Actually, but maybe I've actually been through.
he's done blood transfusion already at age 2 plus.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my
And
God.
I thought it was a breaking point of.
Oh my God.
And his dad was not even there. I called him as usual. I reached out to him. Not me. I sent text messages. I sent photos. Even when the baby was on the blood transfusion process, even when he was having, I think it's Michael or something they call it, the whole reaction experience and everything. The baby almost died. I put him through the whole documentary, but he didn't respond.
So how are you caring for the baby now? Is it, you said your mom and your brother are helping you? Is it financially responsible, or is it sending you money?
Well, he's inconsistent. He might send money this month, 2-3 months afterwards, I will not hear from him. He always find an excuse. He always find a reason. He just always comes up with something that he knows that I wouldn't even want to keep compromising for him, because he knows I'm really exhausted with the whole emotional manipulation thing this thing. So he's very tactical at that. Unfortunately, most times I fall for it.
And you were saying something, your friend was telling me something that you are suspecting that he's sending people to watch you.
Yes.
Explain that to me briefly, that you're saying that maybe he wants to take the child, that you're thinking that, he's watching you or something like that. I don't understand that bit of your story.
Yes, because since I moved to this Abuja, I've been having this very funny experiences before, until I made that post on Facebook that alerted my friend to reach out to me. Most times I enter into a cab, I have strange men insist on, sitting side by side. Sometimes they're very intimidating, but me, I know nobody is here to look out for me, so I try to look out for myself. I insist on staying by the edge. Okay, after much, they calm down. Then alongside, as the journey progresses, they start asking me questions. What am I doing here? You know what I'm here for? If I'm going back to the East, because that the whole thing 2 weeks ago started happening after I told him that I'm never moving back to the East. I got choked up with trying to pay house rent, and he refused to assist any further. According to him, that the 100K he sent to me is enough. I should find a way to sort myself out.
You should find a way to
Another
sort
gave me
yourself out.
25,000.
You should find a way to sort yourself out with a baby that is sick.
Yes, ma'am. The after my mom gave me 300K, so 300K plus 100 enough for me to get the house set up, pay school fees, managing till whenever next I get my allowance. The actual, I said I can do it by myself, so why am I bugging him and all that? So
Okay, so what do you want? What do you want us to do for you? Why did you? Because I know you've been trying to get hold of me. You've been trying to come to share this story. What exactly do you want?
I'm just pleading. If there's any way persons that are willing to talk to me or you can single-handedly do it, I just want him to agree to co-parent effectively. Not this whole on and off thing he's doing. He enjoys seeing me being frustrated and he keep fussing about him not being an active co-parent or being a deadbeat father or me embarrassing myself on social media, calling him out to pay child school fees or me talking to family members to talk to him to come to terms or let's reach an agreement or him sending me 50,000 naira this month.
Okay.
And then blanking out 2-3 months afterward or coming up.
You want him to take responsibility. You want him to take responsibility for the child. Okay. You are not asking for too much. You are not asking for too much. Thank God I have his number. Now I've already called him this evening and I'm going to call him again. And
first person that's opted to help me talk to him.
no, don't worry. We'll reach him. Don't worry. Don't worry. We are different on this platform. Don't worry. He has a responsibility towards the child because he agreed. I mean, you brought this child together to the world. So he cannot just abandon you because you are in Nigeria, because he can't do that if you are in America. So now, because you are in Nigeria, he wants to do it. Unfortunately, distance is an issue. Now, let me ask you one question before I take calls. I want to start taking callers. Ella, did he agree to the divorce when you wanted to return the bride price and end the marriage? Was he happy with that, or you still wanted you to remain in the marriage? Was this an agreement to dissolve the marriage?
Okay. He was first initiating the idea of, he was hammering on whenever he comes back to Nigeria, he would dissolve the marriage. This is that he's tired, I'm too childish, I'm too naive, I'm stubborn, I don't adhere to instructions, I'm not submissive, blah, 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 blah. Plenty things he was saying to my brother. I was scared because the embarrassment of just being married and then I'm out of marriage. But then he came back. He came back actually to Nigeria 2020 before the lockdown. He didn't show up, but he went straight to Calabar to see his girlfriend. That was the height of it all. I got to know that my supposed husband was in Nigeria through his Calabar girlfriend. I don't even mind calling her name out.
No, it's fine.
She was rubbing it in my face that I claimed to be I claim to be the wife, but she's the one getting the cake. But me, I'm getting the dust. All those kind of feminine, disgusting things. I was so emotionally broken. I tried to reach out to him. He didn't show up. He left the country and called me 2 weeks afterwards. I was so broken, left. I was so broken, I still tried to hold on to the marriage. He repeated the same action in 2021 when he came back to Nigeria and he left again. I didn't see him.
So he came to Nigeria twice and you never set eyes on him and he didn't see your baby?
And yes, man, he has never set his eyes on this child. Even this year, he was in Nigeria. He came, took his mom with him and left. I don't know the real story, but I suspect probably her aging process is having a hold on her. So they decided to fly her back to the US because she was living with them over there in the US. So I suspect that's what happened. But I'm sure he was in Nigeria. He was. That's a long story that I wish I had the time to talk about it too. So yes, the marriage dissolving, he initially wanted it, but when the marriage was finally dissolved, after he came Nigeria twice, and he left without saying me, nor talking to my brother, who he claims is his friend. He ghosted all of us, even his own family members. He refused to disclose his whereabouts. Even his friends that he introduced me to, nobody could tell where he was. Even the one that knew where he was, so tried to convince him to at least go see your child.
So he basically
said, "Do I want to connect?" Ended, and I said yes. So the marriage was my brothers went to the village, spoke to my uncles in the village. They said, since that is the case, that I'm free to walk out of this marriage since this is the way it has turned out. So they informed him, straight down here, please. They informed him that the marriage has been dissolved and his bride price has been returned. He never said a word to anybody up to today. He has not accepted to collect it back. But my uncles and my brother said, if I decide to remarry tomorrow, I'm a free woman. I can marry from anywhere, anytime, any day. Whether or not he has accepted the return bride price or not. So yes, the marriage was dissolved, but I do not think he's happy with it. But at the same time, he has never outwardly or vocally said he wants me back.
So when you call him or text him, he will choose when he wants to answer or when he wants to talk to you and all that, yeah?
Exactly, my yes.
Okay. When was the last time he sent money for the child?
This month.
How much?
This month was the first time of him sending money to the child after 50,000 naira.
After
he's been sending to me since 2018.
When was the last time?
After the last time was January, and the next time was this month, first of this month, I guess.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well done.
And that was because there was a social worker that just like you're about to help me now, she pressed, and I think he was scared. I think he was scared of whatever the outcome may be, so he just had to send the money. I don't even think he wanted to send the money at first.
Okay. All right. We'll try and help you as best as we can, but you've learned your lesson now, haven't you?
I have.
A lot of Nigerian girls need to learn their lesson about obodooyinbo marriages. When you see somebody from obodooyinbo, you need to be very, very careful. Most of you, once you see somebody from abroad, you just think all that glitters is not gold. Unfortunately, you were young, you were very naive. Your mom was edging you and your brother was saying, marry, 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 marry. And unfortunately, even though your genotype was not compatible, this is what you've ended up with. I'm so sorry for you. And I feel very bad that you ended up in this situation whereby you have a child who is sickly. And it's a lifelong, this is the thing that breaks my heart about this situation. It's not something that has cure. It's lifelong.
Yes,
the child will be sick for life.
I want to say something. He keeps hammering on that I'm not cooperating. Because those were his excuses. He requested I send him medical documents to prove that really this child is sick, and he wants to know where the peanuts he's been sending has been going into. I did that. I opened a group chat strictly for just talking about my baby's welfare between him, and the lady that lives in the US that opted to help me talk to him. I sent all the documents he asked for, birth certificates.
Where is this social worker? Is it in Nigeria? The social worker that helped you before, is the social worker in Nigeria or in the US? In the US. Okay, so we have his number. We have his picture, we have his state. He lives in Texas. All right, and we know people in Texas. So that's all right. We'll get in touch with him. We'll try and get in touch with him, and we'll get him to take responsibility for his child. If he doesn't, then we'll take other actions. But he has to be responsible because both of you were adults, even though you were quite young and naive, but you knew exactly what you were doing. You decided to get into this relationship knowing that the possibility of having an SS child is there. And now, unfortunately, it's happened. I feel so bad for you because you are the one suffering. You are the one that has the child. You are the one. Imagine a child who is 2 years and a half having a blood, transfusion already at that age. And this is the life of this child. This is the story of this child. Why? It could have been avoided. I'm so angry in my spirit about this. If people didn't know, then you should get the information. Is out there. Don't do this to a child. It is wrong. Anyway, Ella, I've heard you.
Yes.
I'm not angry with you. Please don't think I'm angry with you. I'm just venting generally because, like I said, my family member is also sitting on this table, and I believe, according to what I'm hearing now, he told me that they didn't know, but I want to believe that they knew. Is this same love? We love each other. We cannot do without each other. Where is the love now?
A lot of single couples claim that they don't know, but I don't want to lie. I
Yeah,
feel owning up to my mistakes is my part of healing.
yeah.
It's a part of healing process for me. And I'm really sorry because I've gotten this backlash a lot. And every day I apologize to myself for making this mistake.
It's okay. You're only human. To err is human. Yeah, it's okay. I will come back to you. Yeah, I'm gonna take some calls now.
Girls, but I still have in my own circle, I still have a couple of friends that abroad guys are kind of cool. I try to make them feel reasons to me that no, it mustn't be a simple story, but there are also so many other dimensions this abroad guys come with, and it's not advisable. I only had a friend who had them toxic abroad husband issues.
Abroad
His
husband.
parents
We
were
have to do another video about abroad husband. It's okay, Ella. Yeah, I will send you the video later. You can watch the contribution of other people. Yeah, but you can get on with your day now, okay? Thanks for talking to us. Don't worry, we'll do whatever we can to support you, all right?
okay. Thank you so much to you, Ma, and your audience.
It's okay. All right. All right. Okay. She sounds very, very intelligent. She's such a smart young woman. And I like people who take responsibility. She said a lot of people who end up in this situation are always denying that they don't know. But she said part of my healing is me taking responsibility. I knew. I've always known that I'm AS and I did this. So I mean, I like people who are accountable for their actions. This young girl, oh my God, she's very, very strong. Unfortunately, she's in this situation now, and we got to help her. If you are in Texas, okay, let me ask the area because that one at Texas too big. So I'm sharing my link now, guys. If you still remember how we do the show, thank you so much, Ella, for sharing your story with us. I'm going to take my first call. Yeah. Um, Naya is being in the studio. I'm sharing my link in the comment section. If you've got something to say, just come to the comment section. Yeah, she's articulate, well spoken. She's accountable for her action. She's responsible. She's educated. She's a smart young woman, a young woman, very smart. So yeah, What do you have to say about this, Naya? You are welcome.
Good evening, Auntie B. Good evening,
Good
Obodo
evening, my
fam.
darling.
Yeah, I'm just so sorry about the color situation, and I think for this genotype thing, the most annoying thing about it is the fact that everything is avoidable.
Yeah.
The entire thing is avoidable with information, and so I just think one of the learnings from here is just that couples should stop taking short-term decisions that have long-term consequences.
Mm-hmm.
We just ignore the future. Oh, we do the mathematical and say, okay, as it's just a 25% chance that
Mm-hmm.
you'll have ss, but some people end up not having any ss, some have all ss. It's still a ballot, it's still just a lottery, is whatever you pick you get. So we have to be more responsible. And I just think in this particular case, there are sometimes when it comes to relationships, we just talk about women, and we women will be like, you people are advising us too much. Advise the men as well. But the
Mm-hmm.
fact is, we are the ones that bear the brunt so
Mm-hmm.
much.
Oh yeah.
In so many situations, it's so easy for men to just get up and leave.
They'll walk off. They
Just
will walk
get up.
off.
A little wrinkle, a
Mhm.
little test, a little life challenge, and it seems like somebody you are supposed to lean on that has all this brawn and muscles will just be scared and just run off. It could be financial, it could be something else that is not just genotype, and it's appalling. It's appalling that some men don't have that kind of strength of character. And unfortunately, it now behoves on us that we should just try. and not be bamboozled by this or that. So this show, I mean, so far it has two components: the abroad marriage part and this genotype part. But I know you want to concentrate on the genotype thing. So the
Yes,
only thing I'm going to say
we need to
is,
talk about this abroad marriage,
oh
Neye.
yes, oh
This
yes.
abroad marriage is
No,
causing a
no, no,
lot
no,
of
no, no.
wahala.
No, 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 no. We need to demystify the abroad husband. Just demystify it. Both abroad husband and abroad wife. Because even women,
Abroad spouses.
exactly, we have to demystify it. Just the way people also have to demystify the whole traveling abroad thing. That guy is not just as easy as it sounds, but that's for another day. But on the marriage side for this show, I would just say that because she got married traditionally, I don't know the extent to which this guy can be threatened with bigamy or something. He really needs to be shaken. You need to tell him something that would shake him up and
So
scare
I've
him
called
into
him.
taking care of that child.
Yeah, so I've called him because she sent me the number. I've called him. He didn't answer. I sent him messages and I saw him online before I came on the show. I saw him online on WhatsApp,
Mm,
and I'm sure he's seen my messages. I just said hello, and I introduced myself. I said, well, I'm so and so person, and it's regarding so and so and your baby in Nigeria. I need to speak to you. Can you please give me a call back? I haven't heard, but I'm not holding my breath because from everything that Ella has told
yeah,
us, he's trying to avoid taking responsibility. So we need to look at what can we do to support her
yeah,
and to make him take responsibility. Because what she said, one of the things she said to me was that he said that he's been trying to have a baby. He wanted the baby and they agreed to keep the baby. So if you agree to keep the baby, then you have to agree, you have to care for the baby. You can't
yeah. No
abandon her.
matter the genotype, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree, and I
Mhm.
think this kind of person has to be forced into it. So I don't know. Maybe these where lawyers and so will come in. That she got married somehow. There must be bigamy somewhere, because he was married already abroad and then got married again in
I'm sure this
Nigeria.
guy has a full-blown family, even if he doesn't
Of
have
course.
kids. You know, unfortunately for some of our brothers, they still feel like if they have a white wife or a non-Nigerian wife, especially if she's not black, that oh, that one is obodooyibo wife. I still need to have my hometown person or my tribal person in Nigeria who will be my real wife. This is such,
Mm,
I don't know why people go about messing up their lives like that. It is so complicated. Because from what she's telling us now, there is somebody in this guy's life in America who is obviously living with, from her suspicion, who, and unfortunately, she got carried away with him when he came to Nigeria. Who no go get
yeah,
carried away? Like Nneka said, a lot of Nigerian girls will not say no to diasporan men when they come. Or diasporan women, men in Nigeria will jump because now it, you know how they see it, is an opportunity to come abroad.
yeah,
And
yeah,
everybody wants to come abroad.
yeah. I mean, it's sad. It's sad, but I would just encourage her to just keep at it. I mean, it. In fact, it is everyday, everyday work. It is just a lot of work. But I'm just praying that she will find some respite, at least from the financial aspect. We
Yeah.
have to get the authorities involved. Somebody that can scare him into taking care of that child.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my soul.
All
We
right.
support her in prayers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Naye. Thank you so much. So if you live in America, please give me a call. Yeah, my link is in the comment section. Just click on the comment section if you see Obodo Ibo TV and share your opinion. What can we do? Ella needs our help. The Bible says that we should not be weary of doing good because it's in doing good that you entertain angels. So I know the last time we tried to help someone in Nigeria, it seemed like it backfired, but we've done the one that God gave us the grace to do. We really need to help this young lady. She's only 24 years old, saddled with a baby that is sick. Just imagine as a mother or a father, a child that is 2 years old plus already having a full blood transfusion. Do you know how painful that process is? And that is why we need to, as much as we are talking about the issues, we need to discourage it in all totality. We need to discourage any kind of union that will bring a baby into this world to face this thing. You heard what Ella said, that she's apologizing to her baby, already for bringing him into this world to come and suffer, because it's a lifelong thing. Wow. So it's not a joke, guys. Hey, brother Bill.
Auntie B,
How now?
I do.
Welcome.
I greet you
Welcome.
special. I
I
greet
greet
you
you.
specially.
You're welcome. How about you?
Fine, fine, thank you. Okay, straight to the point. The most important thing first on this show is the baby that is involved. So let me quickly talk about that for 1 minute. Um, First of all, my brother, no matter who you are, if you are listening to me today, I know I'm not supposed to beg you because it's what you should know. On no ground that if you know that you have a child somewhere, regardless of what has happened, that child is your responsibility. Please, for your own good and well being for the future, and to make amends with God, make sure you take responsibility for your own child,
Thank you.
regardless of what happened. So that is that for the child.
Mm-hmm.
So as for the young girl, um, we love you. We all do make mistake. I have made my mistake. Everybody has. So don't look back and regret your actions. I know you were taken advantage of. I don't know how old that my brother here in the US is, but again, hearing your age at 21,
Yeah, I can
someone
ask.
came
I
all
can
the
ask his
way.
age. Mm-hmm.
I
Let
can
me ask.
relate
Mm-hmm.
that this is another issue that most of us men that are selfish, this is what we do. I've said it times with that number here. For instance, I'm not trying to talk about myself. Don't get it wrong or twisted. I have the documentation here to bring any woman from Nigeria here, right here. And by the grace of God, I have so much money than people that I know that have done it. But one thing I've said to myself is I would rather look for a woman where I am than going to Nigeria or anywhere else to go and look for one young girl and take advantage of her. Having said that, we don't have the facts yet.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a wife overseas or something, concentrate on her.
Mm-hmm.
Why go and put a young girl in a family way when you know that you have a family overseas
Mm-hmm.
at 21? Please always put this behind your mind, your heart. Do to others as you want others to
To
do
do
unto
to you.
you.
Yeah.
If this was a pregnancy that came out of fun or something, that is a different case entirely.
He married
These
her.
are
He paid her bride price.
Yes, this showed that he had preconceived intent, which are bad intents. And at the end of the day, see what it has resulted to. So please, my brother, again, regardless, number one, take responsibility for your own child. All right. So that is it. Then I want to address the issue of AS. I am AS myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I have experience with this, and I want to say it, whether men or women. In my own case, at the time, the girl was insisting. In fact, she came to a point and said, maybe I don't love her again. I said,
Mm-hmm.
but AS and AS can marry. He said, nothing God cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
They talk, try to convince me,
Nothing God
get
cannot do.
nothing God
Really?
cannot do. I said,
Really?
you I said, you cannot test God. I understand. I'm not trying to criticize her. In fact, when this show started, I sent her the link, to be very honest, even though this is, not because I was trying to prove a point, so that we can learn going forward.
Yeah.
So since then, I've said to myself, before I even date a girl or get it serious, in my current relationship, I made sure that I ask her first from the one, what is your genotype?
Don't
Because I'm
just
aware.
don't just ask Bio. You need to take the test because some people
Oh,
lie.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
That sounds
please.
that sounds good.
Don't take their word for it, please.
Thank you very much. You see, we can
Yeah.
save each other through this channel.
Yeah,
Okay,
go
thank you
and
very
check.
much.
I've known
Yes.
people in Nigeria who've lied. Some women have
Hmm.
lied about their
Okay.
genotype because they want to marry by force.
Hmm.
So don't
Makes
take her.
sense.
I'm not saying she's lying to
No,
you,
no, no. I got you.
but
Yes.
but it's better for you to find out yourself.
Right.
Go and
Makes
do
a lot
both
of
of you do
sense.
your tests,
Yes. Makes a lot of
and you
sense.
will see the evidence, koro with your
Especially
eyes.
as things is very serious at this point. You are
Dio, please go
very,
and do that test.
yes, you are very, thank you for that. So now, so the point is, it could be the man that is forceful, it could be the woman, and like Auntie B just highlighted now, sometimes out of selfish reason from one end, the other person would say, so, but I knew about this. I started
So
my career way back in Nigeria as a medical student before I went overseas to study. So I said, listen, there is no way we're going to play around this. I know there's IVF, there's this, there's that, but they say, why take the risk on something that you could avoid?
so
It doesn't make sense.
there's a significant age difference between them. Ella has just told me he's 44 years old, so
Wow. Wow.
it's about 20 years older than her.
Wow. See, this is something that rings a bell and tells who you are. Because, for
He's 20
instance,
years older than her because she's 24.
yes, I know age is not a big deal, but trust me, as a man myself, I've said to myself, anything between more than five, at most between 5 and 10, I can just manage it. But anything more than 10 years age difference, if you like, lady girl love me past Dodo. You know what I'm saying?
He said, let the girl love me past Dodo.
Dodo, I
Dio,
would say
Dio, that's why you like Dodo.
Dodo, Dodo, even if she like, she loves me more than Dodo. I would say to myself for my own security, because at the end of the day, when she gets here, she's 21, you are 40 something. You
Yeah.
get to 50, she's 30, she's in her prime. She'll just enter a parlor one day and look at you with your big belly and white
And your newspaper
and your white
dozing
baby,
on your couch.
So,
Dio, you see what I was saying? Mom
yes.
was said my husband thought he was AA until we did the test before marriage and he
Wow.
found out he was AS.
Wow.
Luckily, I am AA. I am AA.
Yes.
So I didn't have that concern,
Right.
when before I got married because I'm AA.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you need to do the test again. It's a
Yes.
20 years difference, age
Yes.
difference in NECA.
Yes. Definitely, we do that before marriage. Definitely, but however, if that person even lie to enter the relationship, when I ask, if I find out even before marriage, that means it's not going to work. But however, for my safety and our safety and the safety of our unborn children, it's best to know it and do the test, just like you said. Well
Okay.
taken, Auntie B. Let me allow other persons to talk,
All
and
right.
I'll be here watching. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Brother Bio. We are so glad to have you back. A lot of people miss you. You don't know how important you are to this platform. When you travel and my mouth, they pay me everybody. Where's Bio? Where's Bio? Where's Bio? Thank you so much. The lost Ninja boy. Why are you lost, Ninja boy? Unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, Sister D. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. You're welcome.
Well, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. First of all, I want to say to Ella, thank you. Okay, thank you very much for all the hardship you're enduring. Okay, I'm going to be a devil advocate and say that Ella, you did not make the wrong choice. Okay, Ella did not make the wrong choice. You were presented with choice and you chose one. And personally, I think you did right. I want to say, hey, when that child grows up, he's going to wipe away your tears. It's going to be okay. And the reason I'm saying that is I have sickle cell trait. Okay.
When you say you have sickle cell trait, are you ASS or are you AS?
Actually, I don't know my blood genotype. I just know that I have sickle cell trait.
Is that by choice?
No, I was in the training, and the training requires me to be in a high altitude environment. And if you have sickle cell, the sickle cell red blood cells are not able to carry enough oxygen to to the body normally, like a normal healthy cells. So essentially, whenever they send you to a training where there's less oxygen or whatever, you have to take that into consideration. So even though with sickle cell, so there are two categories. There's sickle cell anemia, and then there's sickle cell trait. Okay,
Okay,
sickle cell
yeah.
anemia is like most of your red blood cells are in the C shape and sticky.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then sickle cell trait just means that some of them, a certain percentage are, in which is one of your parents probably have and one didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which you can live a normal life. And I mean, right now, I remember as a child, if I stand up too fast or whatever, you get like a light headache because of the
Yeah.
blood and stuff like that. So yeah, it is a real thing. But Alan, I just want to thank you for you did not make the right choice. You did not make the wrong choice. Don't beat yourself up for that. Okay, that boy could be a blessing to the world. You have no idea. Okay, so I know it's difficult. I wish I could help you every single way I can. Okay, but right now, don't feel bad or feeling internal guilt for bringing life. You have no idea if that boy is going to be next Albert Einstein or Stephen Hawking. Okay, so hey, don't beat yourself up simply because of that. Now, the reason why I called in is not to stigmatize the sickle cell mutation. Okay, it is not a disease, it's not an illness, it's not a virus, it's a mutation. Okay, that's one thing that I want Nigerians to understand because we Nigeria, we import.
Okay, so I have to cut in here because I mean, I know you're trying to encourage Ella, but we are trying to discourage people from deliberately going into this situation. Okay,
That's
I
a good thing.
appreciate the fact that you don't want Ella to feel like she's made a mistake, and that she shouldn't judge herself or be too harsh on herself. But let us be realistic.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
Ella
yes,
lives in Nigeria. She's a
yes,
youth corper in Nigeria. She
yes.
has a job that pays her 30,000 naira now, which is
Mhm,
less than 50 pounds a month.
mhm.
Okay, so her reality is different from yours. So we need to be honest and brutal with this matter. Let's not sugarcoat it, right? I know you
Yes,
say you have the traits, and a lot of people in the comment section are saying that you are AS, right? So your reality is different from her own, right?
yes,
She has a
yes,
child who has a full-blown sickle cell, is a sickle cell anemic child.
mhm.
It's not a joke.
That's
This
true.
boy already has a full-blown blood transfusion and is less than 3. Let's not
Mhm.
sugarcoat it. Nobody's trying to stigmatize her.
That's true.
Here we don't judge. But the life expectancy for a carrier of a full-blown sickle cell disease is very, very low. It's short, right? And in that period, that child is gonna have a lot of pain. They're
Mhm,
gonna have a lot of hospital admission. There's gonna be a lot of headache. The mother is gonna suffer.
mhm,
Everybody in this child's life the child is gonna suffer. So
mhm.
let's not sugarcoat it.
That's true. That's true.
And I'm not trying to condemn Ella, but
Mhm.
we need to speak the fact about this situation so that people can understand the severity of this issue.
Yeah, yeah. It's very serious. It's absolutely serious. Okay, this is not a joke. It's something that you have to take into account. But Auntie B, I was born in Kogi State. I did not leave my village until I was 7 years old.
Hmm.
I have every single known illnesses or whatever flu come to my village. I was surprised I'm actually alive today. but but I am glad I'm alive.
Yeah. So
And,
if people have a choice to
mhm,
avoid bringing a child
you should.
for they should avoid it.
Yes.
They shouldn't go that route. That's the
However,
message tonight.
however, the whole story is not being fully presented to the Nigerian populations, and I know that whenever we import like an idea from the Western, wherever, we don't fully understand the context, and context needs to be understood.
What do you mean?
So right now, you say, let's just say we say SC or AS or whatever is bad, and everybody
Mm,
wants to test, and all of a sudden everybody want to marry AA now.
yeah.
Okay, one thing about AA that you should understand is they have no defense against malaria. That's why most.
Okay, so you are taking us out of the context, and I'm a bit concerned that even though you say you have the trait, you don't know your genotype.
Yeah.
So if you say that you were very sick
Hmm.
as a child, you
Hmm.
grew up in, you were in your village in Kogi State and you were very sick, Why don't you know your genotype? Why did you not take the time to go and do the test? You're an adult now. I want to assume you're an adult now from
I'm
talking to
frustrated.
you
Why
now.
can't I do that for myself and my children? I should go find out. I know what my blood type is. I mean,
Why don't you know your blood genotype now? Especially because you're an adult now. And I can see your picture. I don't know if you are married or you've got children.
I
Shouldn't
got
you
you.
find out?
Yes, yes. I have 4 children. I'm married for over 10 years.
Yeah. Isn't that the responsible thing for you to find out?
Now, now, no, the blood type was very important. Okay, I need to find out my blood type, and then there's other health
You already
issues.
have 4 children. You want to find out now? After 4 children? Ogbeni, why you behaving like this now? You didn't form my hand, bro. Why you dey do like this now?
The same,
You just told us your story. You
man.
say you are a carrier. That means you are AS. But
Yeah,
you are not saying the response. You're not your story is like you are trying to beat around the bush. I don't know. I'm not very happy with what you are saying now. You want to find out after 4 children? Okay, I'm gonna have to let you go. You are really lost. You say you are the lost Ninja boy. You are lost for real. Okay, I don't want to be distracted from the story. You see Ella, she's a very young girl. She's only 24, and she's holding her hand up. She said, "I knew, I made a mistake. I was carried away, and I'm apologizing to my kid. You are a grown man, and I think you live in the diaspora. You have 4 kids, and you're telling me I don't know my genotype. Haba, that one no make sense now. It no make sense. I know you are trying to encourage Ella, but we should be more responsible. It don't make sense. Tina, Adi, Ally, unmute yourself, Tina, my darling. I don't miss you. You're muted. Tina, I bet where Tina don't waka go.
Hello, I know Waka Auntie B. Good evening. Now my network. I don't know whether
Okay.
it's my own or it's your own. Yeah, it was like it was hanging.
That's our brother we talk
Good.
just now. How you see what he talk?
The brother they confused me. 1 minute, he's
You tell me
all
saying
over
they
the
sick
place.
where? You can't talk saying no,
Eh,
no. You know no genotype, you get 4 children. You never say know your
the
genotype
the
now when you
the
behave.
brother confused me. 1 minute I suspect saying AS. The next minute he make me believe saying AS. Another time saying they sick. The man is just all over the place. No. I couldn't pick any particular thing from any reasonable thing from his from the conversation, honestly.
Okay. Go
Ah,
ahead. What do you have to say
Obodo
about this
Farm.
matter?
Good evening, everybody. Auntie, you know, just don't let people like that just make you feel bad this evening.
No, I
You are
don't feel
looking
bad.
so pretty this evening.
Thank you, my dear. Tina, my darling. I don't feel bad. But as we dey do am for this platform, we always try to learn
Yeah,
lessons from any story, no matter
that's
how
it.
dark,
That's the
no matter
purpose.
how
That's
dark
the
the
purpose.
story is. And tonight, the very germane, important story
It's a
lesson we are
very
learning
serious issue.
is this is a life-threatening, life-altering, all the oyibo wey you wan talk matter. And when it
This
comes
thing
to
has
children, we know they joke with our children. So why you want to
no.
say? So we are trying to say this thing so that if people when they don't know, if you are out there, you are a 20-something-year-old, you don't know. So now you will go and find out what is my genotype so that I can avoid the situation that
I can
Ella
avoid
is
it.
in now.
Yes.
It is avoidable.
Yes.
And then we start to talk about how people know they feel beat malaria. What has that got to do with anything?
Taya, you won't think of malaria sickness and
Immune
sickle cell
system.
sickness. Are they the same? They are not the same. They are not to be compared at all. People are losing their lives every now and then as a result of SS situation. I know they want use the thing they pay me. I don't they owe myself say I don't want to come into the studio on top this matter because the thing today sensitive to me that I don't even know how to. Maybe I won't try hold back some information. May not be so I just they throw away everything. But it's important enough for people to learn. For people to learn from other people's experience. This is the purpose for this platform. We are learning from other people's experience so that future others go avoid the same mistake.
Yeah.
So Ella, I would speak to you. I would kind of encourage you. It has happened. You have made a mistake. Everyone makes the same mistake, different kind of mistakes. But the point now is how we go to move on. Would do how you can live and be happy and be able to support your son, because it not go easy. Not be road went easy. I won't sugarcoat it. Not be road went easy. But God will help you and will see you through. And I trust Obodo Farm. I trust Auntie B and everyone to be able to give you the support that you really need. Why I won't talk on top this matter. Hello, Auntie B, can you hear me?
I don't hear you, my darling. I don't hear.
Okay. I happen to be from a family, from my mom and my parents, both parents. My dad has 12 children. You know, our African men, when they sabi the they share them.
Situation.
God bless. God bless you. My mom has 7 children. I happen to be the youngest, the number 7.
Right.
And according to her, she wasn't aware. So it's not something that she did on purpose. And my mom, now those kind of Christian, when believe, say, if you then slap you for right, you
Turn
give
left.
them left. Yes. She's you see at times when I'm God bless you. Now those times when believe say you have to sit down, you keep praying, God will reveal your husband to you. You know those kind of Christians. Now my mom be. So I believe when she says she didn't know, so it was not something she planned. They later found out that she was AS and my dad was AS. After they don't born 7 children, luckily none of the 7 be SS. So after 7 children, the man decided to deviate. Congo they test as he had increase in territory, expand and small. Luckily, the second happens to be AA. All 3 children are very okay, no problem. Perfect genotype. He can't try to go carry number 3. Secretary, of which I think he knew already. They knew beforehand that she was AS. But my dad obviously assured her that nothing they happen. Forget, nothing they happen. My first wife now AS. No sister na 7 children. Can't you see can't you see the healthy? Can't you see the healthy 7? You know, let her know, say they're different. Say this one where we say they escort God, now the Epa carry Bible go somewhere. So where they want to go preach. Now that one you won't compare yourself with. You understand? So he assurance say nothing they happen. The only one child that my stepmother had for my dad.
You said a secretary. And your papa secretary?
Yes, so yes. Now those people where they like secretary. Now those type.
What is secretary don't cost for people marriages for that Nigeria, not be small.
So that just God. One pikin when you attempt to born. Oh no. My younger sister, I feel her pain. While as a child, I watch that baby, because today I go won't carry my small sister. I love babies right from time. They know me now, baby. If my mom is looking for me, she go there ask, I bet we are there for born pikin for this area. Or I guess somebody when bring a pikin come greeting grandparents. Then they find me, they go for where they for born. Because now there I go sit down, don't go carry baby. So imagine me having a baby sister at home. Next thing they go say they don't break your hand. They don't break your leg. They don't. I didn't know it was yes. I didn't know it was crisis because I never know what it be. Oh, this network.
I didn't hear you, Tina.
Hello?
Carry on. I didn't hear. Go on.
So I never knew it was this because I was still a little bit young, not so young. I still know how well, but I never get the kind of sense when I get like this to really know what Sickle said day about. When we come, they grow. Now there I can understand, say, now Sickler, my younger sister B, and she was in and out of the hospital the whole time, till the extent that my dad, they hospital, they self put my dad really one ward, I think ward A1 at the time for UBTH. My younger sister, they children ward for the same UBTH. My dad eventually died and left her in the hospital. That's the papa died living for hospital. That's how regular she was a visitor in
to
the
the
hospital.
Yeah, they know them.
You
Oh.
understand?
Anybody where
So
get
it,
access, that they know them for hospital. That they know
I'm
them
telling you.
because they are
So
always there. The crisis,
they are all, she's,
oh
imagine the
God.
pain my younger sister has been going through. To God be the glory, she's still alive. But the truth is, life is no easy. She's been having pains. Today they go dusty call everybody. Oh, she's in crisis. This, it's not
The thing
easy.
is that they don't.
If you can
It
avoid
is
it,
really
please
really difficult to
do.
live a full life. Do all the
You
things. See what
can't.
somebody is saying now, baby. He's saying that somebody just said that they were friends with somebody who was a sickle celler. They can't go to college. They can't go to university because the illness. It just is too much.
That's
It's
it.
too much.
When this whole thing was happening, my younger sister, the reason I eventually knew what it was, my cousin, my dad's immediate senior sister, I didn't also know she had a Sickler as well. Now her big grown-up son died for Shagamu in the hospital. She was alone that night. Hospital, they don't do blood transfusion. They don't happy say don't cross 21 years because at the time there was an idea that if they cross 21 years, that they will survive it.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the thought. But my cousin still died afterwards. It was, imagine the pain it caused to my aunt.
Tina, delete, you don't block our video now.
Oh, sorry. Oh, see me. I don't forget myself. Oh,
don't
sorry.
Don't block
I don't forget myself. Hello.
I didn't hear you. Oh, yeah, summarize.
Hello.
I get other people
Okay. So the thing still happened to after that age. So it doesn't matter. I would beg everybody, please. That's why when me want marry, I insisted that my ex go and check. Please check. I need the results. Send it to me. Because in the Europe midnight, I say send them. I won't see the results, the original result. Confirm before I went ahead with everything. Because I don't want to make the same mistake.
It's not the life
when my own parents, when my
it's a very horrible
I don't want to suffer.
condition.
Even me, as an AS, me when come be AS, even me, I know what I'm going through as an AS. I'm going through a lot, dealing with it. Normal woman, monthly wahala. It is dealing with me so badly that it reduces my iron on a regular basis. I have to be on a daily iron tablet and I have to go take transfusion every 6 months. You think it's normal? No. If you can avoid it, I beg you women, please do avoid bringing children to suffer like this. That's my advice. Thank you,
Thank you so much, Tina. Yeah, you made your point. Thank you. AS, there's somebody in the studio who is AS, but your connection is not good, so I cannot add you. Can you please adjust your internet and see if I can add you? Because we are going to just run through it now because of time. We've done almost 2 hours. It took a while to get the story out of Ella because of Nigeria WhatsApp call. Laraba, good evening.
Hello, Auntie B.
Hi, how are you?
Good evening. I'm all right. Good evening.
Okay, you're welcome. What do you have to say?
First of all, I want to say thank you so much for this show, and my heart goes out to the young lady. Waiting, I want to talk now. Be say this thing hit home. My own parent, just like the other lady said, my parent had 7 kids.
Yeah.
7. Out of 7, 2 na SS.
Hey, Jesus.
First of all, my sister, the one I follow, immediate sister I follow, that one turned to real life vampire. Now blood. In and out of the hospital. My parents were broke. They borrowed money. Hospital. My brother go day work, then go call and go come rush my sister to hospital. Today na leg they pain and tomorrow she no fit stand. You know all those, our own blood they strong straight. Their own
no good. Their own
hot. She go they drink water, go they cry. To the extent that how Nigerian be that time. I had to sneak into the exam hall and wrote 2 exams for me and my sister because she was struggling in the hospital. Now, to the glory of God, we thank God. She's fine now. She don't pass that stage. I go hit wood. We don't hear anything. But do I want to talk now? Be say my younger brother. My brother deleted. Out of nowhere, my parents can't get belay. Maligo turned that thing off. Then get Bele, they had this boy. My brother was also in and out of the hospital. Today hospital, tomorrow hospital. So then the thing can they affect my brother kidney.
It affects everything,
It affected,
Laraba. Nothing
when
they
you are
affect.
young, right? When your parents give birth to children, or when they don't old, you practically carry that picking like scenario born now. I don't want cry, Auntie B. I left Nigeria September, my brother deleted in October. I cried my eyes out up until now. When I remember my younger brother, I
I'm
don't know if
so
he hold
sorry
my
about your
tears.
loss, Laraba. I'm really
He
sorry.
died through that crisis. He died. Sorry, he deleted. That's what I'm
So
telling this lady. I
you see
pray
how
God
sad
give
it
am
is? So if you
strength.
could have been avoided, why would you take the risk?
Yes.
Why
Out
would
of
you?
nowhere.
The people AS and AS and SS and AS when they marry, they're supposed to flog them. The
Because
thing
of
is so
this thing,
annoying.
my parents had to take every single one of us to go check our blood group. I thank God I came out AA. I thank God. But I felt bad for my siblings, especially the one that we lost. My brother would have been, if we don't reach in 20s, my brother, oh God, talent,
I'm so sorry.
enter ground. He enter ground. So if people feel avoid this thing, please avoid it. No, they talk say, and this people to go see that parents to go sick.
Love
This
and
is a
kindness.
lifetime sickness.
Yes, love and kindness saying sister, say he remove you because he be SS. The next one, uncle. Yeah, and the baby now. He say and the hobby they are both AS. What about the next one? How
This thing
many
is
go
not
remove?
good. It's no joke. You go
Why would you even marry if you know that there is a chance that you
Auntie B,
bring that baby into the
that
world?
love go.
What kind of wickedness?
That
It is
love
wickedness.
go jackpot.
Wickedness.
I get one family friend. She and this guy, they two of them be SAS. Then tell them they don't marry. They say that they love each other and go marry. They say they've been dating since they were young they were in secondary school or whatever. And to be, guess what? They got married. They had twins. These two babies came out SS.
How the love tell last? You hold them up.
I don't know. The children naming ceremony, parent day for hospital. Is that the kind of love we want for ourselves? What would they tell ourselves? Now, what would they give ourselves brain? Now, those of us where the thing hits, now we will know the pain. You feel they talk what you want to talk from afar, but ask people where feel for their home, then get story to tell you. All I have to say is, I just pray may God give that lady strength. This thing no be small journey.
You know the most painful part, Laraba, I feel your pain because this hits home for you because now your blood, like your brother, you know. See, our parents will now forgive them because they didn't know any better.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
They don't know. That
But
time
how
they
about
don't know. They
we
don't know
now?
what to be genotype. They don't know what to be blood test. They don't sabi. But
Exactly.
we today in 2022, what is your excuse
We
now
dey
when
talk
you
of
tell me
love.
say you don't know? They say because of love or because of
And
say,
people might bust your brain. Two people will marry each other now, say for years when I live, we they fall in and out of love. You go look your husband sometimes, go bless him, give and slap for back of his head. How about that? Later now come back and love each other again. They're telling me love. I bet no will bury love. This is my child we're talking about. I'd rather have a healthy child with a healthy man than for me to bring in an unhealthy baby with one kind of relationship. At the end of the day, you're gonna leave me anyways.
and you
No,
know the funny thing, the sad thing about this whole thing is that even if they live longer, their lifespan is still short.
exactly.
Which parent for out there who, as a parent, when you don't, especially for mothers, when you don't carry picking for your womb, you push them and through your VJ come this word or through CS or IVF, whatever, how you no matter how you take carry that belly, you really, God is the worst thing. Say you make you they take your hand. No, forward.
I need them to.
It can be avoided. That's
It
the
can be
message.
avoided. Thank you so much, Auntie B. Thank you
Thank you,
so very
Larava.
much. Thank you.
Thank you. So now they hear. These are real life situation. People calling in. If you're out there, you are dating for marriage or dating, or you want to have a child, women especially. I'm calling you out on this one, no. You know, men like BO who are responsible will take they will do the needful. But as a woman, don't be bamboozled into saying, don't worry, our fate will carry us, we love each other. Don't, because you will be the one that is saddled with the responsibility of looking after that child. The brother go leave you. You're welcome.
Good afternoon, Auntie B.
Thanks for waiting.
It's my pleasure. No problem. So, I don't even know. Like, I called into the show But in my mind, I was like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. But I just wanted to say something because obviously I've also experienced what is going on. Another thing I wanted to first talk about, in terms of the person that came to talk, and what she's
Ella,
going through regarding our daughter. I don't know if it's a boy
her
or a girl
son.
because our
It's a
son.
boy.
You know, there are doctors that specialize in sickle cell anemia in Nigeria. So I
Mm-hmm.
think, I mean, the deed has been done now. So obviously, what she needs to be concerned about is the health of that child,
She's a
and
youth
maybe,
copper. Yo. She's a
yeah.
youth
So
copper. She just finished youth service. Her salary is less than
I
$50.
understand, and it's really, really sad. But she has to. I know that in Luth, because I have a brother as well that is sickle cell, and I know that there is a section or a department in Luth that actually take care of people with sickle cell anemia specifically,
Yeah.
because right now that the child is still young, there are some vitamins and things, supplements that the child is meant to be using now to build the child's immunity, since she already knows the child is, sickle cell. Yeah, so
And they all cost money, unfortunately.
they cost money, but trust me, it's actually quite affordable. That's why I said, not,
She
I
doesn't
didn't say
have the
private
money.
hospital. I
She
said
doesn't have the money.
she has to. There is nothing she, then if everybody needs to contribute or something for her,
Yeah.
then
She
obviously
doesn't
then
have the money.
we
She
we
doesn't.
can. But I know that with in Luth it is it's not expensive. From what I know, it's quite affordable. But that's what she needs to at least work on to do now for that child, because the child is already born. And I understand now, watching this show, I understand. It's not like I don't know how bad it is. It is really bad. And especially for people in Nigeria that don't have the funds and the means to take care of a child going through that kind of, that has that kind of ailment, is, if you can avoid it, by all means,
Yeah.
definitely avoid it. I
Yeah.
am I'm AC, I'm not AS. It's
Mm-hmm.
close, it's still, you still carry the trait of the sickle cell thing, as they say, but
Mm-hmm.
me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm AC. My mom is AS, my dad is AC. All of us are like AA, AC, SC. So I have a brother that is SC. So he is really struggling with his, he has health challenges, obviously struggling. So I understand, that if you can avoid this, by all means avoid this. Information is key when you start a relationship. It's very,
Yeah.
very important for you to know that, especially before emotions, get into it and
Mm-hmm.
all that. So I dated someone that was AS. At the
Yeah.
beginning of the relationship, he did mention that he was AA, but I didn't think anything of it. Um, I didn't really think anything of it at that time. But when we got deeper into the relationship, he did let me know that he's AS. And at that time, he wasn't really in, he was already looking for somebody else that was AA, because obviously we had our challenges in the relationship as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm thinking, I was thinking, as a woman, I already have a child. I'm not a young girl, you understand? I already
Mm.
have a daughter, and he already has a child. So I was in my own mind, though, as a
Mm-hmm.
woman, I was, because I liked him. Do you understand? There were things
Yeah.
about him I liked, and there were things about him I didn't like. I thought that he was worth fighting for. So when I found out he was AS, obviously I said to do my research to know my
Mm-hmm.
options, because I don't want to have a sickle cell child. So I was doing my research, my options. And your options are not so many, but you do have options.
Yeah.
So we discussed the options together, but I did not say, maybe I'm not ignorant and I'm not naive. I'm not a bloody illiterate that I'll be like, oh, I believe in God. I'm a Christian, but at the same time, when God has already brought something to your front that He has already made you aware of, He
Mm-hmm.
wants you to actually be able to handle that challenge the right way. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
if we did not know now, it's a different case, but we know the situation of things. You are AS, I am S.
So, in summary, what did you do?
So in summary, for me, I was like, okay, what are your options? But he was just adamant about not going on with it. I kind of felt bad about it because I was willing to even do IVF, even though I don't have problem conceiving.
So you
But
were willing to take that risk?
I was willing to do IVF. It's not taking a risk. I'm not taking a risk as in to conceive a sickle cell child. I was willing to do IVF, which is expensive anyway, because I do have friends in that situation as well. And that is what they did to avoid having a sickle cell child. You do IVF, they test the embryo, or be the eggs or whatever, before they put it in your tummy. So you know even the genotype of the baby you're going to have before it's inseminated inside you. And that was what I was thinking, okay, because I don't want to have one child. For me at this point is good enough. So in my mind, I was like, okay, we could do that. But obviously maybe he had other plans and maybe he still wanted to have a large family.
Or maybe he didn't want to spend money on IVF.
And maybe he didn't want to spend money on IVF. So all these things are things I had to consider. Although it was painful for me, but it was at least good because I was willing to make the sacrifice. Doesn't mean he has to be willing to make that sacrifice.
Yeah.
So what I would just say is for people that have money, if you know what you're going into, then you have options. If you don't want to deal with that options because it's a two-way thing, it's better for you to just avoid the whole thing altogether. So that's just it. So,
are you in the
yes,
diaspora? Yo, are you in the
yes,
diaspora?
yes, I am.
Okay. So for Nigerians who live in Nigeria, we know that when healthy couples who are able to procreate naturally would not necessarily go for IVF. All right.
That's it.
IVF for most Nigerians is the last resort to have children when they cannot have babies naturally. Okay.
Yes.
Because of a number of reasons, because of the cost, it's painful. I understand it's painful and so many other things. There's a stigma that is also involved, in case you didn't know. So that's why I prefer to discourage people while we are still on the subject about it. It's avoidable. Okay. I just believe that, I understand what you are saying, that you were willing to take that, you were willing to go that route. Unfortunately, the guy wasn't willing. And to be honest, I think he did the right thing. I think he did, because if you wanted to have more than one child, you were planning to have like 2, 3 children, the cost.
I understand
IVF is not cheap.
because for me, I
It's
was
not
also thinking
cheap.
about myself.
It can even put
Because
a strain on your relationship, because even though
correct.
you can naturally conceive, now you have to be looking for money for IVF because of your genotype. When you can
Yes.
avoid it.
And you can, yes, but at that time, you know how it is, and to be like, I felt it was somebody that I liked and I was willing to make that sacrifice for, because to me it's a sacrifice because I can conceive naturally. But at the end of the day, he was able to, stand his feet. And I guess he probably wanted, not to have all that stress to think about. And he
Yeah.
wanted more kids. I only want one more. So at the end of the day, it's painful. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So everybody will
So
just,
you ended the relation. He ended the relationship.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Did you find someone else after
No,
him?
it's still recent, although he has found somebody else, but for me, it's still recent. So
I think he did the right thing. He's honest.
he's
You see,
honest, but I wish
that
he had been honest from the beginning when he first asked me about my genotype, because he had
because
the time to sit back and think about it,
yeah, he did
whereas
the
I
right
didn't
thing.
know.
I know it hurts because it's somebody that you like, but you know what? Men are usually very clear, about their intentions. We women are emotional about
Right.
it.
Yes, yeah, right.
But he was clear when he thought about it. Maybe initially because he liked you, he wanted to explore to see if this could work. But the
Yes.
guy thought about it and he said, no, I want more than one child. I'm not doing IVF. IVF is expensive. So
It
to be
is.
honest, he did the right thing.
He did the
These are
right thing. I know that, because even IVF is a painful process. Because as I
exactly.
said, I have friends that have done it before. So I don't even know what I was
And
thinking.
sometimes you do it the first time, it doesn't work. Some people have done it 3 times, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean,
He
that
did me a
guy,
favor, because
he's a
it
decent
would have
guy.
been tough for me. It would
Yeah,
have been
he's a
tough for
decent
me
guy.
as
You
well.
were emotional as a woman because obviously we always love and want to marry and want to be with someone, but he did you a favor, to be honest.
He did me a favor, and I know
Yeah.
that, but it's just that for me, obviously, it did hurt, and it did hurt that I
It will.
feel,
Yeah.
I feel he kind of knew, like, on he kind of knew earlier, and then I was kind of put in the dark because obviously I'm just
Ah.
giving you a summary.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
mean,
anyway, it doesn't really matter now. It's all in the
yeah.
past.
It's
So
all in the past. Yeah. Thank you, yo. Thank
all
you so
right,
much for
no
sharing.
problem.
Yeah, I
Thank
like the fact that Yo was telling us about her own experience with someone who, potentially could lead to something like this. And we like men like that. Okay. For me, I don't know about you guys, about the farm. Somebody said if we can contribute. This is my first show back in almost 2 weeks. I didn't want to come and start asking because I did say to her, if it's about money, I'm not doing it. And she said, no, Auntie B, it's not about money, it's about getting the guy to be accountable to help, to do his parenting and send money. So if you are led, you want to contribute for Ella. So, the details is on the screen. It's not, I'm not calling out anybody, but Love and Kindness was saying, how do we contribute? Anybody that wants to contribute, please. So, I mean, for Yo, I think that guy did the right thing. Yeah, like Brother Patrick is saying now, wisdom is profitable to direct. Yeah, I think he did the right thing. That guy did the right thing. It's, some guys will say, oh, let's just wing it. Then later, it becomes a problem. You are trying to wing it and you are trying to do IVF and you are doing KRY every day at home as couple. You can get pregnant along the way. So even though you are emotionally entangled with him, I think he did the right thing by breaking up with you. And, it will hurt, but you will get over it. You will. Heartbreak does not last a lifetime, but sickle cell, it lasts a lifetime. So I think it's better. That guy did the right thing as far as I'm concerned. Thank you for sharing, yo. Mama R, you're welcome.
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Where are you joining us from?
From the US.
Okay, what do you have to say, please?
Okay, I'm gonna be quick. This IVF people are talking about. Okay, so let me just a very quick.
Mm,
Um, because my dad, from my dad's side, a lot of his cousins died from the sickle cell. So from when we were in primary school, my parents had been drumming it. You are AS, you are AS. You can't. So um fast forward to when I got married and all that stuff. So we had to do IVF because of I had fertility issues.
okay.
So prior to that, before I brought my husband home, my mom insisted that we get genetics for my husband. And I was
Mm-hmm,
crying, I love him, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. My mom said, absolutely not.
mm-hmm.
So I went on my husband. My husband was his assistant. He went and did it. Luckily, he's AA. That was the only way we could come home
I
and get
love your
married.
parents. I love your
So
mom.
wait, fast forward, as if they could tell, I had to do IVF,
Mm-hmm,
right? So before I went to do the IVF, this is Oyibo people doing IVF,
mm-hmm,
all white people. They told me we have to see your genetic testing before we
mm-hmm,
proceed with this IVF. We were like,
mm-hmm.
I know I'm AS, and I know I'm AS. My husband was like, we know we're AA, let's do. But they were like, we're not touching you until we'll see your genetics. And I'm like, why? They're like, you're from Africa, you are black. We need to see your genetic testing results. We're like, really? They said yes, and they did not proceed. So we went, did the genetic results. They showed I'm AS and my husband is AA. They said, okay, then we can proceed. Then I now asked them, I said, if we did this, if my husband was AS, what would you have done? They were like, well, we offered you the option. There's no way we would use both your egg, like his sperm and your egg. We would have advised you to do like a donor egg,
Donor. Mm-hmm.
or worst case scenario, you will pay for there's something they call PGS testing. PGS testing is $5,000 in addition to the regular IVF cost.
Hmm.
So you would have had those options because they will not put our sperm and our egg together if we're both AS. So I was like, okay, thank God. Okay. Fast forward, the IVF worked. Okay. Now my first daughter, guess what genotype? Guess what she is?
Yes.
She's AS.
Mm-hmm.
So if I hadn't listened,
Hmm. Mm.
if I hadn't listened, if I had been and now I'm looking at him like, and I asked my husband, I was like, what if you were AS? What would you have done at that time when we were in love? My husband was like, well, I'll be sad, but you know, I think we will have broken up. And I was like, and now I'm married, and I'm like, and we are like 10 years married. I'm like, yes, I will never, we would not have been together. I do not want, nobody wants to deal with a sick kid. Like,
Hmm.
imagine, I'm just imagining
Hmm.
the horror of what we'll have been going through.
Hmm. In
So
Nigeria, no, add Nigeria to that.
in Nigeria, oh, let me tell you something. In Nigeria, if you're getting married to in the Catholic Church in Nigeria, I don't know about other churches, you have to bring your genotype results. Yes. Oh, yes. I know because my sister got married in Catholic Church in Nigeria. You have to bring your genotype results. And if you are both,
I hear you
um,
also do your HIV test in
yes,
in
yes,
Catholic Church.
yes. And if you are,
Fantastic.
yes. And if you are both, if you're not compatible, they will not marry you.
Good.
So I know that from experience. So I know some people go to other churches or whatever, but I'm just saying this is not a joke. It is not a joke. There's research going on now in the US. You know, they're putting money together for research, blah, 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 blood transfusion. But
Let
trust
them
me,
finish the research
let
and get
them
a
finish,
cure.
may they finish research
It's
first.
not be you that want to experiment, not be
No
your
be
picking.
no be my picking when they want to experiment. I don't already want people. I know somebody in my family we want marry. I can't tell the girl, say, listen, you ready to adopt because you know fit. You know fit. You know fit born this picking.
They're not
Leave
they
this
listen. I
love.
made they go marry now. My own be say if you go ahead when you know say una know they compatible genetically in
Mhm.
terms of your genotype. If una go marry, no come and say you're picking the sick. I not go
I don't
answer
talk
you.
am.
I
I
not
don't
go
talk am.
answer you. Oh.
I don't talk am.
Now that time they go talk say person wicked.
I
I not
don't
go
talk am.
answer you. Should you
So
say that love? Make that love carry you go pay hospital bills.
I
Now
don't
you know.
I thank God. Say I listen to my mama. I thank God. If not, we for here when.
Bill say it is difficult to break up when you are
Well,
in love, knowing the
yeah,
challenges ahead.
I
Which
understand. Even that, I remember that day when my husband did that result. I remember that day I was at work and I was praying. I said, God, if this is the only thing you do for me, let this my husband be AA.
let me tell you something.
I was
If you
praying.
are listening to this and you are contemplating, should I do, should I not do, weigh up a sickly child who will be sick for the rest of their
Hmm,
life and that love that you think you have for that person.
I'm telling him.
Which one outweighs the other? Is it the love for your child or that, feeling that you have that is temporary? Because by the time you are married for 20 years, tell me, that love when you think say you get so it not be the same again. In
There's no
fact, why
the
am I saying 20 years?
same.
Let me say 5 years.
5 years. So please, oh,
It's not
please,
worth it. It's
please,
not worth it.
please, please.
Thank
Or
you.
last, just marry and agree to adopt. Abi, what we go do?
And when I want to marry, you both agree to adopt now. Black man go just marry, go agree to adopt. Say waiting now. He go tell you say for my family they know they adopt.
Okay,
You know
well,
now.
I don't
You
talk my
know.
own. A word is
Thank
enough for
you.
the wise.
You do
Thank
well,
you.
Jare, Mama.
Mm,
I'm glad that your parents-in-law insisted. Today you are grateful to God. Say
Abi, oh,
God give you healthy picking. That is
thank
the
God.
most important thing. It's
Thank
one
God.
of the blessings of life. Having
Mm.
a child and having a healthy child is the blessing. Nobody wants sick child though. Sick child. Hmm. Baby girl,
Auntie B, can you
you're
hear me?
welcome. Yes, my darling. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very good evening to you and everyone watching. Um, I just wanted to reiterate from what the last caller just said. Sometimes these things are from lust and selfishness of two people that know sometimes. I'm not even talking about the people that don't know, but that know and they still go ahead and do it because, oh, I love him, I love her. You guys are punishing your children. That's what you're doing. That child that you're bringing, you are actually punishing that child. Yeah.
Thank you.
Not to even forget, okay, we're talking about sickle cell people. Nobody talks about people that are carriers of just the traits. They go through the same, not I won't say the same because sickle cell
It's
people,
not the
food,
same.
yeah,
Yeah, but they are
food,
sickly as well. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
But it's
food.
not the same.
No, it's not because I'm a carrier, right? And this is where I always beg parents, like I'm an advocate now. I speak up everywhere, whether you're older, you're not, in any gathering, any gene that you know that you carry as a parent, yeah, when your child starts growing up, start educating the child about it. Say,
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
this thing at this age, or I had this at this age. And to be, I'm a carrier. Yeah. I have transfusions every now and then. I'm just a carrier.
Wow.
I'm just a
Wow.
carrier.
I didn't even know that people who are carriers alone, like that's if you are AS, that you still have
Oh.
issues like that.
And to be winter time, I can't walk properly.
Wow.
My bones
Imagine.
hurt winter time. Yeah. If I'm getting up from my bed, I'm just a carrier. My bones are like crickly, right?
Hmm.
Now I'm on iron medication for anemia. There was a time I bled for 24 days, right? So imagine somebody that already has issues with blood bleeding for that long. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then I had to go in. I got 4 transfusions, four bags of blood,
Hmm.
right? And this is just one of the things. And then before we found out that I had some other things, and I had to go back to my mom, like, now you they tell me, say, I get her when I young. Yeah, I
Hmm.
think I had this when I was young. You're telling me that
Yeah.
now that I'm in my 30s,
Yeah.
you
So
know.
Lucas, a lot of you are saying that no, 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 no. Speak for yourself. She's sharing her own
No,
experience
I'm
as a
sharing my
carrier.
own experience. I found that as
You
a
have to
carrier.
speak for yourself. Love and
I
kindness.
only
Speak for
found out when I
yourself.
got to the UK. But from
Mhm.
Nigeria to be sick all the time from secondary school, and they never used to know what was wrong with me, right?
So
When I
are
got to the
you
UK,
SS or you are AS?
I'm AS, something about O positive or something like that. Because I think the doctor told me what my blood group. And I remember when I went to see a
It's
blood
it's not it's
specialist,
not blood group, it's genotype.
genotype, sorry, yeah. I remember when I went to see a blood specialist in Royal London Hospital, he said to me, you cannot marry I think an AS person or something like that.
Yeah,
He said
somebody
it
has a similar experience with you. Tina say I'm AS and I get transfusion every 6 months, even though I am on a daily iron tablet. So her
exactly.
experience is similar to you, baby girl.
So the doctor told me you cannot marry somebody has the same trait as you, and we had to tell my brother the same, even though he's still young. And I told my folks, like, you guys need to, even if it's a trait, if it's something like fibroids that you had when you were young, there's a potential of your child having that
You know,
as well.
baby girl, now that you mentioned it, I remember it just made me remember how as Africans, so Nigerians especially, we sabi hide medical conditions where we nobody they talk about them.
Auntie B, tell me
You see
about it.
here how the doctor will ask you of your family history. Did your
Yeah,
father have hypertension? Did they have heart problems? Did they have Parkinson? We like to most of us don't go even know because they know they talk about sickness that they hide down. They
they
sick.
auntie they it's when I went to the GP, when there's some sicknesses I was having, yeah. I now found out that, oh my god, my dad's family, all the women had this thing, right? And then I went back and I was like, you guys could have told me this thing and I could have managed it. It didn't have to escalate the way it did. I was
Yeah.
rushed to the hospital several times. The doctor will
Mhm.
ask me, does your family have this? Does your family have that? I'll be like,
They
I'm not
don't
sure
know.
where this is coming
They know
from.
they talk. We don't talk about things like this. So it's not something you discuss. They hide them. People sabi hide sickness for our culture. Is oh my god.
So I believe, like, the older generation have gone now. I believe, like, everyone from this generation, we're more exposed. If you're able to open your leg to a person, you should be able to ask the person what his genotype is. Especially if there's a potential for you having a child with the person, you should
Yeah.
ask. If you're supposed to do STD checks,
Yes.
STD checks minus STD checks. Genotype is so important.
Yeah.
I lost a
Some STDs you can treat. Genotype no get treatment.
exactly.
You
A,
no get
a friend,
treatment.
I have a friend here. Well, she's passed now. She came here to do her master's, and for the 4 years, she was, God rest her soul, she was managing the sickle cell. She was full blown sickle cell, and she was managing it. But after she finished her uni and after the work, obviously, I don't think they did her visa for her, and she moved back to Nigeria. And to be within 3 months, she had a crisis and she died.
Hmm.
This is just from
Not
moving
sure.
back home.
So
So
the risk
parents,
is there. Yeah, the risk is there.
You know,
One needs
so
to be very, very careful.
one
Yeah.
needs to be careful. Please, please, please do the checks. Do go to, if you're seeing something funny, go do blood test. See a blood specialist. They will tell you what to do. And please, that love that you're having for the person is not strong enough for you to
Which
bring a
yeah,
child
love.
into this
Which kind
world.
of mumu love? I beg,
You
live
know
love.
that
Who love
potential,
help?
that exactly, that lust that is binding you guys. When the child comes, the stress that comes with it will break you.
Hmm. Look at Ella now. Now she just sent me a bunch of pictures of her and the guy. Fine guy. They look cute together. But today now the guy is not answering her call. Where is the love now? Maybe they were in love then when they were getting married. That's what we are trying to educate people to learn. Thank you so much, baby girl. I need to move on very quickly. A lot of people are interested in, saying something about this. We've done almost 2.5 hours. Brother Patrick, you're welcome, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, my sister, it's good to see you again.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we really miss you. I hope you are better now.
I'm all right, sir. Thank
And,
you.
yeah. I posted in one of my comments that wisdom is profitable to direct.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in Nigeria, that was about 30 years back, 30 years ago, more than 30 years. Even then, in Nigeria, our only sickness was malaria.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to fall sick of malaria. I even thought I'm a sickle seller. Until I was dating a girl in the church. Say, bro, let's go and do our genotype. I found out that I was AA,
Mm-hmm.
while she was AS, and I was thank God, I was very happy. So whoever says he doesn't know or she doesn't know about genotype, I don't know. Maybe that person's an educated illiterate. You know what I'm saying? That has been existence in Nigeria. It was even a brother that did it for us.
Yeah. There's so much awareness about it in
Yes.
Nigeria.
Even then, there was awareness. It
Yeah.
depend on the group of people you are.
People choose to ignore. Brother Patrick, that's what even Ella said, that a lot of people who end up having children with sickle cell, they claim that they don't know, but they do. They did know before they went into the relationship and into those marriages.
Yeah, people have spoken well today. My main concern is the father of the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from
I don't know what to do with this now. I don't think he wants to talk to me.
apart from sister B, let's face reality. Apart from sickle cell, you can have a child that's a special needs child, or maybe the child has autism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'll be struggling, serious one at home. So if a guy should go ahead and pay dowry and is ready to marry, why should the guy bail? You know what you are going for. So that is my main concern. That is getting me angry. So look at what this lady is going through.
Yeah.
Like everybody said, it's not easy. It's a long time effect. It takes the grace of
Lifetime.
God. It's gonna affect the girl mentally. She can't do anything emotionally. She's a single girl.
Yeah.
You can't
24.
just
Only 24 years old. Oh my God.
Yeah, you can't just bail out. Yeah. Sister B, I'm gonna send you what's up. I'm gonna send something to her. I'm not gonna say it here. By the
Okay,
grace
thank
of
you,
God, at
sir.
least so that she
Yeah,
can.
thank
Yes,
you.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
do that.
some people are led to contribute. I think Love and Kindness was bringing it up. I didn't want to. Today's my
Yeah, so
first day back.
I'm gonna send it
But anybody that wants to contribute, yeah,
to
the
your
details are
WhatsApp.
on the back.
I'm gonna
Okay,
connect
sir.
you on WhatsApp so that I
All
can
right.
send it directly to a Nigeria account.
Okay,
That's
no
my
problem.
main concern now. You can't
Yeah,
bring a child to the world. There are a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
people here that have special need kids. We are not
Yeah,
even talking of stereotype that have been there.
yeah,
The child is going to be with them for life. The child
yeah.
is not going to have wife. It's going
It's
to
not
stay
an
with
easy
them.
thing. It's not an
So
easy
you
thing.
can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what kind of obodooyinbo he is. Why should
Yeah,
you come to Nigeria and go to the SM? What are the families? Yes, the family of the guy, they just decided because the guy is in obodooyinbo. So that's
it's
my main
unfortunate.
concern. Yes,
Thank you, sir.
I'll get in touch with you on your WhatsApp.
All right, sir. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much,
Yeah.
Brother Patrick. We appreciate you, sir. God bless you. Thank you. Okay, moving on. BB, you are next. What do you have to say? Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from California. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, you're welcome.
First and foremost, I want to say, please keep my room ready because I saw the door. I've packed my bags already. I
No
don't pack bag.
worries. It's
Well done,
okay.
Sister B.
Thank
This
you.
thing hits home. I made a comment earlier. It hits home really bad. My mom was AS. We lost my mom's first daughter a long time ago. As of the time we lost her, it was years back. My mom did not know what she had. And we circled the house. I mean, my senior was really, really senior to me. But that was how the mystery of the death happened. And of course, Nigerians came up with all their stories. And then when my younger sister wanted to get married after me, and she came with this guy, she was dating the guy. And my mother got to find out, just out of curiosity, just asked the guy. And the guy said, "This is what I am." My mother said, "Over her dead body. It's not going to happen. You're not going to, I have lost one and I'm not prepared to do it again. And even if you do not like yourself, I like you more than you like yourself. It's not going to happen." My sister quarreled with my mom for so many years, but it saved her. And today
she's grateful.
She's telling a different story. Now, coming to me, I was fortunate enough to marry someone that was AA, but I am AS because all of us, the kids, now ended up being carriers. The trouble I have gone through to stay where I am today is only me and my husband that can tell.
Wow.
Sister B, in looking for children, I had 5 miscarriages.
Wow.
5 miscarriages, all blood related. Any hospital I would go to, they would look at my story. The doctor would come in to see me, and the next thing would be like, "Oh, we have to do this test. Oh, we have to do that test." I was always anemic. I always was falling sick. And of course, thank God to where we are, we could do investigations. But that investigation is not open to everybody in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
So it's something very, very serious. In fact, after I had my daughter, my OBGYN doctor called me and said, "Don't try this again. Don't even think of going down this road because you were saved by a hair thread." That's how sensitive it is. Sister B, stubborn me, being the Nigerian. I want born. How I go born only one pikin give my husband? I want born. Igbo man I carry. Before I go born another one, I said, I want born. I took in again. 4 weeks after, I was at work and I started bleeding. I got scared. All of us went to the hospital. Long story short, I lost the pregnancy. After my daughter, it was very painful. But that's not the worst part. It got worse. I had fibroids. I had everything.
Was your husband AS as well?
No, he wasn't. I was the only one that was AS.
So because you are a carrier, because you have the traits,
yes,
and this affects. So what I'm getting from, a lot of people that have shared, like yourself, BB, MJ tonight, is that even for some people who are AS, it affects them as well.
Yes, it's not everybody that is fortunate to be well.
Yeah, it's not everybody, but a lot of you have shared tonight, and you're saying the same thing, how you are sickly and you're having blood transfusions, you are weak, your iron levels are low.
It is. I'm constantly taking
iron problem. Imagine if I'm AS.
Exactly. I'm constantly taking iron pills. To make matters worse, 2017, after I had lost my pregnancy, I was at work and I passed out and I lost a lot of blood. They took me to the hospital and the next thing they said was, "All right, we have to do surgery. She has to remove everything. I fought it until my doctor told me one thing. She said, "Look, I don't care if anything happens to you, but I am scared of the fact that one day you will be driving and you would have an accident and everybody around you would get affected because of your negligence, your selfishness, and your stupidity." Those were her words to me. And she said, "God has blessed you with one. Why don't you do everything you can and take care of that one before putting yourself at risk?" And that was when it sank to me. And I went in and we did what we had to do. Yes, today, I might not be able to have kids again, but I am well enough to take care of the one I have.
Amen.
So please,
and you know, adoption is another option if you wanted more.
Definitely. We can be so stereotyped and stubborn and say,
yes.
oh, we want it this way, we want
just
it this
want to
way.
carry the baby in your womb. Do you know what? I mean, I'm thinking of adopting. It's something that we've always wanted to do. And I feel like these ones are growing up too quickly now and leaving me. And I want to, I was saying to a friend, you know, just last week, and it's something I want to do by next year, by the grace of God. I want to adopt a child.
Because there's so many kids out there that
kids
need
out there
love.
who are looking for a loving home.
They need
and I've got
love.
so much love to give. So why can't I adopt a child? I want to.
Exactly. So, Obodo fam, please, if you have siblings, today my sister is singing praises and is happy, but she forgot the heartache that she caused everyone when she insisted that this was the one she was going to get married to. So please, it's a serious thing. We take things so trivial at home. We don't look at, in this part of the world, even just going for a dental checkup, they will check history, what blood, everything. They take everything serious because they know that it can be fatal if it is not handled properly. So those were just my words. To Ella, I congratulate you. I hail you. I'm so happy that at least you're there for your son, for your child. I'm so happy. We will do what we can. I have done what I can, but please let this be a learning forward to look out, because
people.
I am glad you shared the story, because it is a silent killer that nobody talks about. So Sister Bibi, thank you for bringing it up for lots of people to be aware of and to go back home and let's start a conversation. Let's talk about it. We have kids that we're grooming. My daughter is AS. My husband will tell me, oh, you have been too picky. I said, no, I'm not being too picky. I am being cautious. I have to start letting her understand now. How old is she? She's not even ready for dating. I know.
But let her be aware.
Exactly. So that tomorrow she doesn't make any mistake. What happens if I'm not here tomorrow? How will she know? She needs to know now. And we need to start doing the work as a community. Let's tell our other women. Let's sensitize the situation to lots of other people so we can all learn. That's all I had to say, sister. Have a lovely day.
Much.
Thank you.
You too. Thanks for sharing. And, you know, all the best to you and your family. And I pray that, you know, you don't need to have 1 million children for God to raise your children. That one that you have, you know, God will multiply for you and she will be everything. Everything. One child can do what 10 children cannot do. Okay? I know as Africans we believe in having many children, but if this is your situation and God has given you one, your prayer is that one that you have, they will give you peace. They will bring you joy. They will look after you in your old age. They will honor you and they will do exceedingly abundantly beyond what, you know, many children can do. There is nothing God cannot do. Okay? So, you know, we are learning. We live, we learn. So be encouraged. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Bibi. Sister Victoria, good evening.
Good afternoon. Good evening, Sister B. How are you?
I'm fine, sis. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm actually SS, and I called in because I'm on admission in the hospital right now.
Oh my God.
I'm calling you from the hospital. I don't know if you can see me.
I can see you. I just blocked it because I just wanted to protect your identity.
Okay. If you want me to hide the camera, I can. No problem. So your topic is very, very interesting. It is. And I am so sorry for the poor girl who fell for the trap of this old Agbaya, Mongo Park.
44 years old.
How old is he?
He was 40 when he married it. He's 44 and she's 24. 20 years.
He's 44.
20
he's
years.
He's just a selfish Mongo Park. That's all I can say about it. Because sickle cell is not easy. Although I am 40 years old, but I was born with sickle cell. Although my parents did not know. At the time when I was born, they were not aware. They didn't know what was happening, you know, and I didn't start falling sick early. It was when I reached the age of 9 or 10 that I started falling sick. And they were like, what's the problem with this child? They now carried me up and down. They're like, okay, go and do test for her here and there. So when they eventually suggested that they should do genotype test and they found out that I was SS, my mother did not believe it. She actually told them she actually had to repeat that genotype in 4 other clinics to be sure that it's the same result.
Why did she not believe it?
She didn't believe it because she was like, from age of 0 till age of 9, she wasn't falling sick. All of a sudden, at the age of 9, you start falling sick. That it is spiritual attack. It's not spiritual attack. Don't deceive yourself. So life has not been easy. Life has not been easy.
My sister Victoria. I can imagine. You know, I've been looking at you. Before I got to your turn, I could tell that you are not, you are not well. But I didn't want to break. Oh my God.
No problem. No problem. See, at least let us try and encourage those that already have children with sickle cell. Do you understand? There's nothing you can do.
So how has it been for you? You said you were not falling sick until you were like 9, and has it been consistent since then?
Yeah, since the age of 9 it has been consistent. On a regular basis, I'm hospitalized like 3-4 times a year. On a regular basis, you have crises, and that is a crisis that you cannot manage at home. Because there are times you have crisis you can manage at home. You take fluids, you use your drugs, your medications, and all that. And there are times you can't manage it at home. It goes out of hand. You have to go to the hospital on emergency. And one of your callers was right there. See, we are regular customers at the hospital. Then Sabi our name. Sabi our identity.
Yeah.
So besides the stress, besides the financial constraints, because then my father always had to have cash at home. You understand? Because anytime this girl falls sick, we have to rush her to the hospital. They always have to deposit some money in the hospital. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So there are so many things involved.
Yeah.
It is not easy for the child itself because I know what my mom went through being a married woman. Although she had 2 other children, I have 2 brothers.
Are you the only one amongst your siblings that have the
SS? Yes, I'm the only one.
You are the only one.
Yes, my brothers are AS. I'm the only one. At least I thank God for
both
that.
of your parents are AS and they are both AS, or one of them is
exactly. No, they are both AS.
They're both
AS and they did not know. They're both AS and they did not know.
Yeah.
So the thing I'm trying to, at least what has happened has happened. She should try her own family. This girl's family should try and look for the man's family. The man should have a family in Nigeria. I hope he has father's side. He has uncles, or he has people they can look for.
She was staying with the mother before. She said that he was a monster in-law. So
she was a monster in-law.
Yeah, she told the story about how he made her to go and stay with the mother-in-law in Aba. She said she suffered a lot of, abuse, spiritual attack, and everything there. So I think it all culminated into how the marriage crashed and everything. Unfortunately.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, that is going to be difficult for her. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. I do not want to try and hide the truth from her, but I don't remember what state she's in, but she should. I know there are foundations. There's the Sickle Cell Foundation.
She's in Abuja.
That is in Lagos. She's in Abuja.
Currently in Abuja,
yeah. The Sickle Cell Foundation is based in Lagos. Before I left Nigeria, I was living in Lagos, so we had the Sickle Cell Foundation, and there was a caller that said that there are hospitals that have specialists for sickle cell. Do you understand? There are some drugs that she has to start taking. Folic acid is not expensive. It's not an expensive drug, but you have to start taking it as early as possible because it helps. Do you understand? Build your red blood cells. Those are the kind of things, and there are some foods. They will teach you the kind of foods that you have to cook for the child. You should give your child lots of spinach. You understand? Lots of leafy fruits and vegetables. The child has to eat lots of fruits and vegetables, spinach, beetroot. Things that facilitate. Yeah.
Are you in Europe or are you in America?
I'm in France.
You're in France. Okay.
I'm in France. Yeah.
What about someone is saying that? Okay, in 2010, somebody is saying that. What about stem cell transplant? Is it something that can be considered over there for you?
Stem cell transplants, actually, I'm being followed here by a specialist who discouraged the stem cell transplant for me because he said it's not in all cases that you are better off. There are some people that actually end up having more complications after. So it's not really 100% success. There are some people who have been successful with it, but what you do not hear a lot of news about those who have problems, complications from it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is a very, very complicated procedure because they have to actually knock out your immune system first before they do the transplantation. So it's they don't really they don't
There's no
put it on the
guarantee.
forefront. Exactly. They
Yeah.
don't put it on the forefront if it is not a do or die matter. I don't know about the US, but here in France,
I mean,
it's not really encouraged.
so, I mean, in terms of regular everyday life, are you able to work on a normal day and you able to have, because I know now you are not living at home in Nigeria, you are living in
Yeah.
France. I don't know if you have any family or friends with
No,
you
I
there.
don't.
How
I
is
don't.
normal life for you? I'm not trying
Normal
to put you
life.
on the spot, Sister Victoria, but
No,
I
no, no.
want
Well,
you to be able to
it's
explain this
good.
thing to people because I'm sure there are
Yeah.
people who are going to watch this video later and they will still be
Later, exactly.
contemplating bringing a child
Exactly.
into the
Going
world
ahead.
with this situation.
Exactly.
Please.
Exactly. What? Well, normal everyday life. It has always been in and out of the hospital, in and out of the hospital. At least I was lucky when I got here because you don't have malaria, you fall sick a lot less. Do you understand?
Okay.
But there are
Okay.
other triggers. There are other triggers that make you fall sick also.
Mm-hmm.
Stress, the change in the heat and the cold. When
Mm-hmm.
winter and summer comes, or when summer is going. Winter is going and summer is coming. That change in temperature, that thing is
Mm-hmm.
drastic. That thing kills me. And then there are other infections, because I get infections a lot. UTIs and all that. I get infections a lot. So infections are part of the things that provoke you falling sick and all that. At least I was lucky enough. I came for my master's. I fell sick during my master's, but I was always lucky that we were working in groups. So I had a very good friend who always puts me in her group. So she would do the group work and put my name there and say that, okay, we worked together on behalf.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily for me, whenever we had exams, I never missed any exams. I didn't fall sick during any exams. And I was even working and going to school, you can imagine. So it's not because you have sickle cell that you are a complete handicap. You
Yeah.
can have a life. You can actually have a life. But
Mm.
when I now finished school, I finished
Mm.
school 2012. I finally got a job 2014. I was even working for an international company, a German company based in France,
Mm-hmm.
with companies, with branches all over the world,
Mm.
and I had a good responsibility. I was a quality manager. So the problem I had was the stress of the work. Do you understand? Because they will ask you to travel. I was always traveling up and down. You travel to this place, travel to tomorrow. You are in Luxembourg. You are in this. You are that. You are going to meet customer. You are going to meet this. So when I'd fall sick, at least my boss appreciated me. I was lucky because my boss really appreciated me. She appreciated the quality of my work. She knew I was somebody who was sincere, willing to work. Do you understand? But just that I had a health condition.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I love about these white people. They are understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually I had to, when you keep falling sick like that, one thing I noticed that you cannot get promotions at work that way, because they will tell you that if they give you more responsibilities, how are you going to manage the job? You get it. It's complicated. It was complicated. So when I saw that I was facing a glass ceiling, I couldn't move up. I was like, okay, you know what, let me go. So that's how I started my own business.
Mm-hmm.
So at least now I'm working on my own with my husband, and at least it's better if I'm not there to run the business. He's there to run the business. Whatever change we get, we are managing it. But at least I'm on my own. Do you understand? I don't have to start traveling up and down.
At
And
least
everything.
you have somebody. Did you travel from Nigeria with your husband, or is it someone you met in France?
No, it's someone I met in France.
Okay,
It's someone
and
I met in
I
France.
want to assume he's AA, right?
He's a white man, so believe me, my doctor insisted. He said, if you guys even have the slightest intention of having children, go and do your test. Go and do the
Yes.
test and come back. Now they
Yes.
won't even agree for you. They won't
Okay.
even. I
Yeah.
know, no.
Okay.
So that
Uh,
one, That one is just good. It's just one thing you have to consider is that when the child is small, sickle cell is a disease that actually affects all the organs. We don't think about it that way, but it affects all the organs.
Annie is asking, do you have any children yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
At least you have someone that loves you.
Yes, so because with the stress like that,
you don't need any stress of marriage.
I'm telling you, if you go and marry Mongo Park, that won't help you take care of your child.
God has a way of compensating us one way or the other. I'm so happy that at least you found someone, who will love and respect you and care for you. So yeah, thank you
this is
so
somebody
much.
that yes. So
is he a good guy?
My sister, this person, I got the revelation that he was my husband 15 years before I met him. So let me not go there.
Wow. 15 long years before you even knew the way to France. You already had a revelation.
So let me not go there.
Jim Christian then. I can see why your faith is strong and your spirit is high. I like that.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sister Victoria, for sharing.
Just I have to encourage my sister and I encourage other people. Don't give up. There are people with sickle cell that live long, but you have to manage it. You really, really have to manage it.
Yeah. And you are better off now because you live in a diaspora. So France, is in Europe, and you have a better access to healthcare, and you don't need to worry about funding it and all that. So
Which is true.
Thank you so much.
But I know that there are things there are foundations in Nigeria that can help. We should try. I think I'll try and look for information. Yes.
Okay.
And try and get it across.
All right. No problem. Thank you so much, Victoria. I appreciate
you. Auntie.
By his stripes we are healed. There's nothing God cannot do. For our parents' own, they didn't know. So now we know. But for people like you are 40 years old and your parents obviously didn't know. So for you, we just pray and we hold you up in the hands of God. He's Jehovah Rammah. He's a healer. And we pray for divine healing for you in Jesus' name. Okay, AS, your connection is still not good, and I'm just going to take Junior, then we are going to call it a night. Thank you so much, Junior, for waiting.
Hello, Auntie B. Thank you for allowing me onto your wonderful site here. Apologies for my avatar. It's the one I've had since.
Is that the what they call again? I'm trying to remember them
it's
now.
From Sesame Street.
The Sesame Street. Oh yes.
From a long time ago. But
yes.
I'm related to someone you know. Well, I'm actually Gigi's brother.
Oh yeah, it's true. Hi, it's Gigi.
She's on this. She's on the stream. She was the one that told me that you're having this program, so I thought I'd listen in.
I'll text her later. Yeah.
I've been finding it fascinating. I joined in at the point where I read someone put a post up saying that people who AS getting married are wicked. It's wickedness, and I understand the sentiment, but it's not obviously clear. There's more nuanced than that. It's not really quite the same. I mean, for my parents, for example, they're both AS. But for them, it was during the 70s because I'm over 40 myself. So
did they know? Because I know your parents are doctors. Did they know?
They're both doctored, yes. But they didn't know. I think they never had themselves tested for some reason.
No, I don't think they would have known if it was in the 70s. Yeah, because there was not much knowledge about it then.
And my senior brother, my brother just above me, he was completely AA, 100% clear. So yeah. So that they had him, everything was fine. A few years later, I was born. So that's when they realized. That's when they had themselves tested, and they found out that obviously I was AA. But clearly by then it was too late. But the main thing with having parents who are doctors, God was very good to me by having me delivered to parents who are doctors because they knew exactly what to do from day one. So immediately I was given the very best care possible. Forgive me, excuse me, I'm a little bit nervous. I've never actually been on.
No, it's okay. It's okay, before. Junior. Take your time. Take your time. You're a very lovely guy. I mean, I've met you in person twice. I don't know if you remember.
I remember you very well. Yes, I remember wearing red to you.
Yeah, it's all right. Take your time. Take your time.
My heart goes out to your previous caller because I know exactly 100% what she's going through. I've been in that same situation myself many, many, many times. But again, God has been fantastic to me in the sense that I've only had, I think I've had 2 hospital admissions in the last 10 years. So I've been lucky in that sense. However, the issues I've had have included, I had a stroke when I was 8 years old.
A
And also
stroke
a
at
stroke.
8.
Yeah, I had a stroke. It
I didn't
weakened
even know
my.
it's possible for children to have
Oh my
stroke.
God! Yes, absolutely. Yes,
Oh
yes.
my
If
God.
as a sickler, you can very much have a stroke. I did. I had to come to this country. I came to Great Ormond Street Hospital when I was about 8 years old with my mother in tow. So we were here for a couple of months getting full treatment. So other than that, I get ankle sores, really painful, open, sometimes infected sores. I get them quite frequently. I've had a condition called avascular necrosis. So this is when the cells when you get a lack of oxygen supply to certain parts of your body. In this case, it was my hip joint. So I've actually had a hip replacement. In fact, I'm gearing up for another hip replacement, a revision. I'm going to be at Guy's Hospital very soon. But the problem is, my problems for that started just as COVID kicked in. So I've been living in agony for 3 years because in 2019 I was diagnosed with this most recent issue, and they told me I needed another replacement. But then COVID and being an elective surgery, I've now had to wait and wait.
Yeah, of
But
course.
So that's coming. I thank God that's now in June. So the wait is over. It's been 3 long years, 3 very painful, very hard, very long years. That's actually quite changed.
Is there any medication that help with the pain?
Just the powerful ones, which the previous lady will know all about, things like diamorphine. And that's mainly for hospital use, but I have to take oxycodone, naproxen, things like that, paracetamol. Not things I would encourage any normal person, any unaffected person to take, because
because
they're
they're quite
issues to do with.
powerful.
They're powerful, but there's issues to do with addiction and dependency as well, which I've had problems with. I'll hold my hands up and now and say, yes, I've been addicted to these painkillers before as well, because of how powerful they are and just what they do, the issues with them.
We're not judging you, Junior. You had to do what you had to do. You were in pain and you were prescribed. These are not medication you can go and buy off the shelf.
Oh God,
these are things that were prescribed for you because you were in pain.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
for good
of your
reason.
Condition.
For good reason. They're not available on the shelf, and then they shouldn't be either, because anyone who's ever had them before knows exactly what I'm talking about. But otherwise, my life has been reasonably normal. My parents. I couldn't have been born to better parents or to be born into a better family. I actually went to a boarding school, believe it or not. And I'll tell you a tiny story. This is in the early 1990s when I went to school. They didn't know anything about the condition. My mother had told them and so on. But I had pain once. I had a crisis when I first arrived. And I went to the health center, which is just over about a kilometer and a half, just under a mile walk from the main school. And when I went there, the nurse there wasn't interested, really. She told me to just sit in the corner. She wouldn't even let me have a bed, just had to sit there. I was in pain. I was crying. I was in so much agony, because anyone with sickle cell will tell you that it's like being hit with a baseball bat or a cricket bat as hard as someone can. If you imagine an athlete, a powerful athlete, someone who knows what they're doing, who knows how to use, this instrument. Except when you're hit under normal circumstances, your body produces endorphins, which are natural painkillers that reduce the pain level. In sickle cell, this doesn't happen. So it's like having that impact.
So you feel the whole pain
you
in
feel
your body.
It's like the full impact on that. For me, in my case, it's in my back, right, and my long bones in my back and my joint. So it's like being hit with a baseball bat, but without the endorphins or the reduction in pain that comes after. It just continues like that, unstopped, until you receive analgesia, until you're taken to hospital and you get IV fluids. And a few days later, it starts to settle down. You have to have your continuous infusion injections and painkillers that eventually bring it down. So people ask questions like, why would a disease like a sickle cell continue to be maintained in a population? And that's because with people with AS, they're resistant to malaria. So if you have a look at the overlay, the geography, the occurrence of malaria, and you overlay it with the occurrence of sickle cell, they pretty much match. And that's why malaria has killed more people than more wars put together, and continues to do so today. So as long as malaria remains in the population, so will sickle cell. Sickle cell is phenomenal. The HBS, the hemoglobin S gene, is phenomenal because it's an example of a gene that has mutated, that has resulted as a result of environmental stress. So because of malaria, the sickle cell gene evolved to combat malaria. So those who are AS and have that combination are protected from malaria. And that's what those with AS know. For all those that have the anemia, have the issues, they should know that at least, if nothing else, if they catch malaria, they are more likely to survive it than anyone else. You see, so more likely to survive than someone who's completely fully healthy AA. And I also feel my heart goes out to those people who've mentioned that despite being having AS, have issues with anemia and all the other complications that I heard mentioned earlier on. My parents are both completely, totally fit and healthy. They're both carriers, both AS, and they are the fittest, strongest people throughout my life that I've known. But then maybe that's probably because they had a child with sickle cell that they had to look after, so they had to remain as strong as possible.
I think people with AS generally, I don't think they present the same way. For some people, they experience some of the traits and it's visible, in some of the people that have shared, they've got the transfusion and all the pain and everything. And for some others, they don't feel anything at all. So it just depends.
Yes, yeah, it's true. Yeah, absolutely. It's human nature. Some people will respond in certain ways and others won't. Some people will be more severely affected. Some won't. It's just you cannot apply the same brush to all, and that's been educational for me, actually, hearing from people who have AS and have suffered as a result of that. I mean, Nigeria stands out at the top for being the country with the highest incidence of AS. More than 45% of sufferers of sickle cell anemia live in sub-Saharan Africa, and that's mainly Nigeria, with DR Congo perhaps being the next one in line.
It's interesting what you said, Junior, about the link between malaria and, this disease.
Yes,
is that the reason why, people, Europeans and white people who live in the West don't get it?
Yeah, pretty much exactly. Yes, I mean they have their own other conditions such as cystic fibrosis and one or two others. But for us Black people, us living in people in some in the Indian subcontinent, some in the Middle East as well, areas where you can overlay mainly areas where you have mosquitoes and malaria. This is where you find incidents of sickle cell and sickle cell anemia. But with just a final reference to the again, I keep referring back to the lady from before, but gene therapy is available now, and I'll happily send you a link which you're free to distribute to whoever. But these are links that have been sent to be people who have had gene therapy and have so far, fingers crossed, because it's a very, very new form of treatment. So far, seem to have had a complete turnaround in their incidence of sickle cell, and they're living seemingly normal lives now from here on in. So there is a quote unquote cure available, but it's, as far as I'm aware, it's only really available in America. It's not available here.
Is it in its experimental stages?
Yes, it is. But the results have been fantastic. The results have been really quite mind-blowing. They really are excellent results showing from people, and these people are now leading normal lives. And to do with just to end on employment, like the other sickle cell lady
Lady.
mentioned earlier on.
Yeah,
She
Victoria.
yeah, I mean, self-employment probably is the way to go for us
Yeah.
with sickle cell, because I used to work in PR. I worked in I worked as a practice manager a bit as well. But you find that with our white brothers and sisters, sometimes after a while, after they've taken you on, and perhaps they don't realize, you mention to them that, look, I have this condition, and they say, yeah, fine, everything's okay, that's good, no problem. But then as things progress, and you're perhaps missing more and more time, you're having more sick time than the other employees, things start to get difficult. The disciplinaries start to appear from nowhere, and next thing you know, you've worn out all your warnings and all your chances, and then it's often time to go. So what I found that, and then with other people, affected people I've spoken to, starting their own business, doing their own thing is the way forward. I think that's what I would strongly encourage anyone with sickle cell to do. Life is possible. It's not a death sentence entirely. I mean, even in the 1980s, I remember my mum showing me a clipping that she cut out of a newspaper. It was Vanguard newspaper or something, because I grew up in Nigeria, and she showed me that at that point, sicklers could live to 70 years old. This was in the 80s. So now with modern medical technology, things have improved even further. But
still, we discourage people. I mean, if
yes,
you to avoid deliberately, going to have
yes,
children who are going to
absolutely,
have the trait.
absolutely. For example, myself, I would only be able to marry someone with AA. There's no question
Yeah,
about that.
yeah,
It can only be someone with sickle cell can only marry someone who is AA. Otherwise,
yeah,
you're asking for trouble. Because I
yeah,
would never wish this on my worst enemy.
yeah.
Honestly, as good as great as fantastic as good as God has been, it's still not something I would ever want anyone to have to go through for even
And
one day.
that's because for you, thankfully, you were born into privilege, because
Yeah,
both of your parents are doctors. You came to the UK to live here. We know the story of, your mom was one of the first female GP, in the part of the country of the country where you
it's
live
true.
in.
Yes,
So you are not the average person from the average family like Ella that we're talking about just now, who is
thank
in
God.
Nigeria. She's
Yes,
homeless. She has a job that pays less than £50 a month, and
no.
she's saddled with this boy who is
My
less than 3 years old
heart
and is a
really goes out to her. My heart goes out to her so much, and I really feel,
Thank
and
you
I
so
hope
much,
God
Junior.
continues to bless her.
Amen. Thank you so much, Junior. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Auntie.
And
Thank you for the
thank
opportunity to
you.
speak.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. It took this topic for you to come on the show. Wow. But
I've been
it's
looking for
good.
an
It's all
excuse, but
good.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. You speak very eloquently. There's no need for you to be nervous. You are very intelligent. You articulate. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And
Thank you,
all
Auntie.
the best, in the future with your treatment. And I pray by the power of God that you're going to get your treatment and you'll be well. And we're going to celebrate many, many more
Amen.
happy events in the future.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Auntie.
so
God
much.
bless you.
All
Take
right.
care.
God bless you too, Junior. Wow. Wow. What a show. We just wanted to talk about, how this thing impacts in marriages and relationships. And we ended up having, about 2, 3, 4 people who shared their own lived experiences of having, living with this sickle cell, being sickle cell anemic or anemia, you know. So the moral of the story is that, please, if you can avoid it, avoid it. It is not an easy thing. Thank you so much, Junior, for sharing. Yeah, and we keep Ella in view. Ella was the one that shared the story. I'm still calling on you guys that live in America. Please reach out to me. Okay, this is my WhatsApp number if you haven't got it. How do we get this guy in America to take responsibility for his child in Nigeria. He was a willing participant in bringing this child to the world. This child didn't ask to be born. Okay? Ella put her hands up. She said, I knew I was AS. I knew he was AS. But he wanted me to keep the baby, and I foolishly believed him. Now the baby has been born, and they took a chance, hoping that the baby is going to be AS, and it's not going to be SS. Unfortunately, the baby is SS. Now she's saddled with the responsibility of looking after the child by herself. She cannot afford to look after that child. How do we get this guy to get involved in, the upkeep of this child? So those of you who live in America, we understand that the guy lives in Texas. And I know that we have a lot of people on this platform who live in Texas. So if you are listening to this, our brother, we are not here to shame you. We are not here to damn you. We are not here to expose you. But you need to do the needful. Okay? It is very unfair that you go to Nigeria to take a girl that you are 20 years older than. You married her, and you both, as consenting adults, even though she was much younger, but she consented to it. So you both brought this baby into the world. So you have a responsibility. Okay? Please do not ignore. I sent you a bunch of messages on WhatsApp, and I'm expecting to hear from you. I will keep, I'm going to try and call you again tomorrow. If you don't reach out to me, I will try and get people to speak to you. We need to reach you. Okay? Do the needful. This child is your child. Except you go and do DNA and you tell us that you are not the father. As long as you are the father, you have a responsibility. All Ella is asking for is for you to come and, co-parent with her and provide for the child. She can't do it by herself. She's only 24 years old. She's a kid. She cannot. Somebody that just finished NYC. Do you know how much NYC Alawi is? So you need to do the needful. I'm calling on you because I want to believe that I've seen your picture. You look like a responsible person. I'm giving you the benefit of doubt. Please do the needful. Reach out to Ella. Put her on an allowance, even if you're not there physically to look after the burden of looking after. You've heard the stories of people who are living with this illness. They share their experiences. Junior said it's like a bat, baseball bat, hitting you with all the full force, and there's nothing to cushion the pain. This is what this child is going through. You brought this child into the world. You wanted the baby is here now. You can't look back. You cannot say no. Because you are in America, you feel like you are safe. Please, don't let us go and start looking for people to come after you, because we will find you. We'll get your picture. We'll go post your picture for here. I don't want it to get to that. Okay, we know they do violence here. We're just trying to help this young woman in Nigeria who has a child that she obviously cannot care for. She's made a mistake. She put her hand up, and she's, she now realizes that, she should not have done it, but the deed has been done. We're a solution-focused platform. We are looking for solution. So do the needful. And if you are watching this, you want to help Ella in any way, please. If you want to send your widow's mouth, if God lays it in your heart, this is the account number. Cash App is there. PayPal is there. Nigeria account is there. Whatever you send to her, it will be very, very, very appreciated. It will be appreciated. Things are not easy for her. I wasn't going to say this, but I'm not saying this to brag or anything, but things are really difficult for her, right? Things are really difficult for her. When we started talking this evening, I had to send her 25,000 naira to go and get credit, to get data on her phone. She didn't ask me, but I suspected. I said, do you have data? She was like, I will figure it out. I said, don't be proud. Okay, you need help. Don't be proud. Send me your account number. She was very reluctant. Send me your account number. Eventually, she did. I sent her just 25,000. I said, go and buy credit. She started crying. She said, Auntie B, credit is 5,000. I said, don't worry. Use the rest and buy food for yourself and your child. This is what we do here. We're just trying to help. Please, if God lays it in your heart, while we are trying to figure out a way, to reach this guy, please, you live in Texas. We have your pictures. We have everything. We have your details. We don't want to post it. You need to reach out. Call me, send me a message, and let's come to an arrangement privately. how you can support Ella and your son. He's still your son. Whether he has sickle cell or not, you were responsible together with Ella to bring the child into the world, and you need to be accountable and be responsible for the upkeep. If a child is sick in Nigeria, hospital is not free. Medication is not free. Even the folic acid that people are talking about here, now money they say they buy them. We all know how things are in Nigeria. It's not everybody that has the privilege of having free medication or free access to medical care. So please, I'm appealing to you. I'm going to also send you this video because I have your WhatsApp number. Don't block me. If you block me, I will find people to reach you in America. We got plenty people for over there. So please, let's work together, my brother. I know that God will touch your hearts. Don't abandon this child. Don't abandon this girl. It is not right. Thank you very much, everyone who is called into the show tonight. Thank you very much for those who shared their own very personal and private stories. I know it wasn't an easy thing for you to do. Thank you, Junior. Thank you, Victoria, and all the other people that shared their own personal stories. I'm just going to end by saying, please, if you don't know your genotype, you're a Black person, wherever you are, especially if you're African, go and check. And if you know that you are a carrier, please avoid it. Don't let love catch you to say, let's risk it. We fate it. No, don't. It is not a life that anybody wants for a child. It is wrong to do that, knowing what we know now. Our parents didn't know, but now we know. We have science, we have biology. Okay? Thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight. I am back. Hooray! I'll speak to you in my next one. Give this video a thumbs up, and please, if you are led, you want to donate to Ella, all the details are on the screen. God bless you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Love you. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye, guys.